Side, please. Emergency official business. Ma'am, side, please. Side, please. Thank you. Official business, sir. Ma'am, emergency. Please step aside, sir.
Hey, get lost. I'm waiting here, huh?
FBI, you might want to stay out of this, all right, sir? Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, please. Back off. All right, I need 8 double tall.
Well, that almost didn't want to play for me, my friends. But listen, is it possible that this is Scale Cantina and a new show called Cheers, my friends? Certainly cheers to you all. You see the official Scale Cantina mug. You see the thermos here. Am I going to have some people that are going to pop on? Maybe Fabio, maybe El Profesoro, maybe Lane, maybe some others. I don't know. We're going to have to see. But do I have some juicy news for you? From the Hot Toys Wizard, you do have to wonder. But listen, I think there's going to be some people that are going to pop in over here. Crazy secondary market news, crazy primary market news. The Hot Toys Wizard hit it last week when they're saying there was an imminent release. Do we have news for this week? And what about the rest of this year? What about San Diego Comic-Con? What about some crazy exclusives you're not thinking about coming real soon? Let's go ahead and just dive into all of this, baby, right now. Let's see. Do we got one in here? Who's that? And do we have another in here? But before I say hi, I got to do it like this, guys. I got to do it right. And welcome to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at Scale Cantina. And listen, in case you don't know who I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk. Cheers to you. Man, guys, look who's in here. Lane, El Profesoro, Mario. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me in the cantina tonight, or this morning, rather, man. Happy to be here. This is a nice surprise, man.
Hey, man, I know. It's a surprise to me, too, but I'm feeling pretty froggy this morning, Mario. Do you think that
Froggy,
means that
you say?
Froggy? I used to love Frogger. I don't know. Maybe I feel a little bit of a sense of the Frog Lady coming, guys.
You
wow.
now I'm just
picturing just Aries now sitting there like looking like Darth Froggy from Kermit, the dark side Kermit the Frog, just sitting there with a thing. Now he always be green going, and when looking at anybody who watches the show, who looks on the like Facebook group or on eBay and stuff and is seeing the secondary market figure, it will always be Aries going there. Do it.
The secondary market. Listen, Lane, Mario, and everyone in the chat. It is on fire right now, the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. And you would kind of think that maybe it wouldn't be with all this stuff, but man, I mean, and weird things too, like BB-8 and BB-9E right now, like rising, Wicked, like I mean,
wow.
Wicked. I mean, like people spending over $300 for a Wicked. I'm like, It's
Hey,
crazy.
I
Yeah.
believe I've seen Wicked still available at retail somewhere out there.
And
He's still out there.
you know what's funny about that is, remember when the Emperor Deluxe, both the Emperors, they started to go real high.
Oh yeah.
So I started to search around, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of this place called Monkey Depot.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it
Mm-hmm.
before.
All right, so I searched like for days on the internet. I went on this hunt. I can't, all I keep seeing is these high prices, and I saw that they had a deluxe one in stock, and it was like 320 or 325, whatever the heck it was. And I said, "Oh, this has got to be a mistake." So I actually called, and someone picked up. And the dude was like, he goes, "No, I got one more in stock." And I'm like, "Listen, how do I pay? How do I pay you?"
I couldn't get it fast enough. Huh? That is awesome.
I just missed out on an Emperor because a fella had the deluxe was selling for $400 on Facebook, and someone just beat me to it. I had talked to him.
How
said
much?
I was in $400.
Wow, dude, that's
Yeah.
a regular or the one with the throne?
With the throne, it was the deluxe. He said it came with the original art box and the shipper and everything. And he was selling a whole bunch of his collection, like for relatively, I think the most expensive one was the Death Star Gunner for $475, and that one had already sold. I told him I was interested, but I've got so many figures on order right now, pre-order. I know we're going against it. We need to pre-order now, but I have a lot of ones that I pre-ordered, and I got to pay for $1,900 in the next week for a statue. So I was just I don't know if I can do that. So I waited a day, thought about it, wanted to sleep on it.
God bless you.
He just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just sold it like 15 minutes ago." I was, you were the first person to ask me yesterday, and I was like, "Oops."
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and it's kind of funny because you would expect the Emperor, right? You would expect Obi-Wan, Anakin. Actually, I find it weird. I understand how it goes with Star Wars Hot Toys because you get like 2.0s or you get different versions of troopers, you get different versions of these characters. And yet what we're seeing over the last year is the OG one continues to rise. Although you're not seeing it with the heavy Mando right now the last couple weeks. I don't know what's up with that. But I mean, we'll get into a lot of this stuff. But like you see the Anakins right now. The Anakins is a marvel. The regular Anakin, okay? Forget about Dark Side. We all know where that is.
All right.
And I think Mario has some technical problems. He'll jump back on in a second.
Yep.
But the regular Anakin, dude, is just soaring so high, while the Dark Side Anakin is soaring so high, and while the Clone Wars Anakin is soaring so high. So it's not like, okay, there's one Anakin outselling another one, much like that Return of the Jedi Endor Luke. Both the deluxe and non-deluxe are way outselling for right now the Luke Jedi Knight with the fat suit. But not with Anakin. With Anakin, whether it's the Clone Wars version, the Revenge of the Sith version, or the Dark Side version, they're just all crazy. And it doesn't matter that you can get the Clone Wars version right now, in stock and for a reasonable retail price. And if you want to splurge more with the Stap, which seems reasonable when compared to the regular at Dark Side.
It's a big, I mean, it's not like long vehicle, but it's a big vehicle. I mean, at the time it was announced a couple years ago, it might feel a little expensive, but for $385 for a nice Anakin with multiple, switch out parts and everything, and a vehicle, like that's a great value, especially as you pointed out in the secondary market, some of the other options for Anakin, like he can cost less than half as much.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I know we've lost Mario over here, so I think he was having some technical problems. So as soon as he jumps back in, we will let El Profesoro back in over here. But listen, talking about the Anakin, I bet you're glad you were able to what'd you get for yours? 800?
Yeah, 810.
Wow.
Before shipping. That was before shipping. and that was before tax. The guy spent, if you take those into account, over $900. And the funny thing was, he was very nice, very quick to respond to everything. Is that he had sold his, or at least in his messages, he sold his Darkseid Anakin last year and regretted it so much he had to buy it because he was relatively close, shipping wise for me, so he could get it for me. So he's willing to pay extra, a little bit extra for the price for it to get it shipped to him faster, and he got it like a day.
So and welcome everybody in the chat. You are watching Cheers, my friends, with the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington. We have got Lane and El Profesoro in the house. El Profesoro to return soon once he reboots.
It has half the secondary market, it seems, on his shelf.
Well, and I think we're going to get Fabio a little bit later too.
That'll be fabulous.
Maybe a couple of others. You talk about half of the market on the shelf. And hello to all of you in there. We'll get to your chats here in just a little bit. Yeah, when you originally sold that, I know you were asking me about okay.
Yes.
And there's Mario back in over there.
Hello,
Hey, sorry about that.
No problem. I figured you were helping pick up some off-world Jawa egg juice for the cantina, so I appreciate that.
That's exactly what happened, man.
But I was just telling Lane, because Lane, here's an interesting thing where you're talking about some of these figures, and I got some stuff to share.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is the regular, and I got a couple of messages yesterday saying, Aries, the Clone Wars Anakin is number 2 when you sort everything out best-selling wise on Sideshow. You have Cad Bane, of course, and then you have Anakin without the stab. The stab is very, very high too. And it's so funny because I've been watching that sell like crazy. And then I'm watching the regular Anakin go through the roof at the same time. So it's you could go ahead and everyone knows I could get this in stock for a retail price. And they are. But they're also buying the Anakin. But they're also buying the dark side. And forget about that. I think some of that anyway has to do with Darth Vader. But then Lane, you were going back and forth. Should I sell it? You sold it. You sold it for 700 something. And then when you say, hey, the guy didn't pay, I was like, you better thank your lucky stars, because now you're going to get you ended up getting $810 for it. Just last week, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Before shipping and tax.
Congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, it was hard to part with him, but he's helping to pay for because my first collecting I started back in 1996 was statues. That was my first love of collecting, and where I've gone in and out over 20 some odd years. God, I'm feeling old. 24 years or so. Started when I was 18. I only sold him, and I usually only sell any Hot Toys or anything if it's going towards getting something different. He's helping to pay for my General Grievous quarter scale statue that's coming from Sideshow, because that boy was $900, so he's going to help pay for most of it. And but Aries is right, guys. That figure, what I think this is I think there's such a love and appreciation for Hayden Christensen right now as the character. I think also that we saw Anakin Skywalker has had, since Revenge of the Sith and that stuff in the last decade and a half, through Clone Wars and other stuff. We got to see the character. So some of the limitations of the performances that were done in the movies, I think there's a lot more appreciation for the character and Hayden right now, especially because he came back for Obi-Wan and stuff. So I think that's what's helping.
Well,
everything.
I mean, what's interesting here, and I sorted it out, with Marvel too, so we get a real sense of, what's selling number 1. And, Anakin is number 2 when it's just Star Wars. You put everything else in. I mean, that's crazy, because everyone knows you could get this for $260. They're like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and get a regular Anakin for $660 while we're at it. Pretty much. I mean, this thing's going 600s, 700s, 800s. Forget about the dark side Anakin and Lane. If you get big, powerful feedback, you're one of these big sellers, you're going to get more than what you got. But guys like me, Mario, you're getting freaking $800, but yet you could get this Anakin for $260. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, look at this at Sideshow right now, because Mario, this was a bottom feeder for a long time. Honestly, it was low. I mean,
Mhm.
it got announced. It was like, yeah, okay, it put a little bit of a dent, like about $100 worth in the secondary market with the other two. And then after about a month, they continued to soar. This was really low.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like even Anakin with the stap right now is high. It's sandwiched in between Iron Man. It looks like the battle damage version and the 2-pack Boba Fett. That's crazy because that's like $385 for that vehicle. Are you surprised by like you can get this Anakin, you can fill the void in your collection, but yet right now people are paying more money for the other ones? It's weird to me.
No, not at all, man. I mean, considering that we're just coming off of Obi-Wan, this is everyone's chance to get some sort of representation of Anakin Skywalker at retail. And it's not a bad one either, man, in my opinion. I've got the one with the stap up sitting up over there. And it looks great. It's a great looking figure, but at the same time, for those that really, really want the more accurate representation, how he was portrayed in Revenge of the Sith and somewhat in Obi-Wan, there, I guess some collectors are willing to pay out those high dollars just to obtain the dark side version, man. And it's insane. On again, I've said this before on how I just get it's hard to believe that the figure that sat so long for on the shelves, people couldn't sell it for there. People were losing money when they were selling it, and now it's just like one of the most. It's the most sought after Star Wars figure out there right now, isn't it? So it's crazy how that's happened.
Yeah, no, these are really good thoughts. And welcome everybody in here. You are watching Cheers, my friends, with the Dark Jedi and this fine panel over here with Lane and Mario El Profesoro. I'll drink to that too. Cheers to you all. A lot of fun here. Good morning to you. And maybe good afternoon now to some of you, depending on where you reside or where you dwell throughout the galaxy. Make sure you smash that like button. I know Lane Kramer just put it over here. Let's hit the like button while I put that up and not block out Mario. I'm a little bit better at this now after a year of doing this. Oh, look, Collector Chris is in the house, and he says they call me the Wizard. Maybe just what they call Collector Chris.
They call him the Wizard.
Go ahead, Lane. I heard something get stuck in your throat there.
I was just about to say after that real quick. Also, a public service announcement as well, unsolicited from the Dark Jedi. As we were recently looking there down a little bit lower next to Stap Anakin, there is a certain Boba Fett 2-pack, which the Dark Jedi has a unboxing video currently available for insiders of the Cantina. It's part of our continuing back and forth that he claims he doesn't do very good unboxings. I claim he does way better than me, and that video helps prove my point. So if you are interested, you should definitely become a Cantina Insider. That is part of what special videos and stuff that Aries provides along with streams and other such. I am a member recently. No, I haven't been for a super long time, but I finally decided to make the plunge. And this was completely unsolicited. This is on the fly, and Aries is going, what is he doing right now? I'm sure in his mind. But that is a recent figure that Aries was super hyped for. And that is amazing kind of to see where a lot of people were hyped for that figure. And to see Anakin Stap is like kind of actually ahead of it right now. That's kind of amazing. Just how much I think people were like you pointed out, it was kind of for years. Or like Dark Side.
And this figure too, both of them were and I'll be honest with you. No, and I mean you're even seeing it too. In the secondary market, you're seeing it pull ahead of Fett here, or at least that one. You're seeing, the Anakin figures pull ahead of some pretty significant characters and figures in the secondary market too. And also, when you can get it here for retail. But Lane, thank you so much. I appreciate the plug. I still think you are way better than me at unboxings. But yeah, if you want to see my weird face, how it looks when I open these things.
Debate continues.
The debate continues for sure. And And it's kind of crazy too, like guys, when you see like, I mean, I don't know, there's a Miss Marvel out right now. Obviously, we're coming off of Doctor Strange. You got Thor, the next Thor coming out. Obviously, we had Spider-Man at the beginning of the year. What's really interesting to me about all this with Star Wars, I feel like there's been 3 shows. Obviously, the Obi-Wan show, which just ended. You had the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. And really, since the rise of Skywalker, just from those 3 things is where you're seeing all this heat. And yes, I know some of you are at table 2, so let me fill you up because this is who I'm talking about.
This is the way.
I feel like with one single swoop, Lane, the Mandalorian came in, and with just 3 shows, Star Wars did a complete 180. Because like Mario was saying, you go back, you couldn't get rid of those Anakins. He was saying people were, losing money on them. This guy comes in, I'll fill it up one more time.
This is the way.
He is obviously right.
Well, as you used to like to say, before the dark times, before the Mando.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because
that Mandalorian show is the sole responsibility for that damn animated Boba Fett skyrocketing the way that it has, man. I was on Pop Culture one day, and I had the choice to get either the animated Fett or the Shark Trooper. So I went ahead and chose, me being the Trooper character that I am, I went ahead and picked up the Shark Trooper, and I said I'll pick up the animated Boba later. So when I was ready to go get it, sure enough, it was already sold out. Just because of this damn show, man. So it's insane. Look at this. $750.
$750. And then I'll show you another one as you're talking about that. Mario.
I bought this guy in February of 2021 when it was offered to me for $475.
Oh man, even then.
I mean, look, just from June 19th, Mario. 28 bids too. It's crazy, dude.
Aries, it's fascinating how you've had this data on standby. As I mentioned it, you instantly pull it up. That is awesome, dude.
It's I follow this stuff as best as I can, Mario, but it is a great figure. But honestly, I mean, isn't this Mario the Return of the Jedi mold? Not the but and then just with this coloring, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, you can tell from the belts, the actual belt right there, where it's all the pouches that go all the way across. That's from Return of the Jedi.
And just for this colorway, it's crazy. So like when people were asking me, Aries, about the vintage color Boba Fett, I said give it a few years. I said especially in that packaging, and now I think we're starting to get wind of that packaging and what it could mean, years down the road, that 40th packaging.
Oh yeah.
That vintage Fett, it could. I'm not saying it is, but it could get up to where this is, honestly.
No, yeah, it definitely could. There's no reason why it couldn't. I mean, considering it's such a niche figure, man, and I've got that one in the collection also. Now it is so nostalgic for me. I mean, with the packaging and with the colorway of the particular Fett, it's just like it's all there. What would have been nice if they would have actually taken the page from Gentle Giant's book and actually released it on an oversized card back in a bubble.
Oh,
the same way
yeah,
they did Stan Lee.
dude.
Oh man, that would have been next level.
Yeah.
But
they
I'll
do a
take
good
I'll
job
take
with that Gentle Giant. I mean, yeah, no.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love that they did that, man.
Yeah, and I, what I also think, and I don't know what you and Lane think about this, but essentially, and I feel like I'm losing my mind, but you call this the animated Fett. This is like the droids Fett, isn't it? Like this is like
this is his first appearance from
the holiday
special. Yeah,
the holiday special. But is that the same as or is this as the droids version? I think it's kind of the same color, isn't it?
Was he actually in Droids? I know
Yeah,
we see the 75.
Yeah, he appeared in the Droids series.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
But that stormtroopers, because they couldn't use guns, had to use like these weird battle staffs that shot lasers from them. So they were literally the same, but they just like pointed at a staff and shot like Skeletor in that show.
You know what'd be interesting, guys, is where I was going with this, and I was bringing it up the last month, and I think that they could do it. So, like, whether if this is the holiday special one, Mario, and then they could actually Black Series has been coming up with like vintage packaging for like the Droid series, like the old Droids packaging
Yeah.
that they used to have. I could see them, even if it's not the Droids one, them saying, "Hey, let's do the colorway for the Droids." And they don't need like an anniversary packaging. They could just do a vintage packaging in that box, since people are going nuts with those
Ooh.
boxes, and just say, "Here's another Droids Fett." And I think people would go
Yeah.
nuts with that.
At the same route, they've already got the molds for R2 and 3PO, so who's to say they won't do the same for that as well? I mean, 3PO's got a bit of a different colorway. R2 is pretty much the same, but to release those in that kind of packaging, I mean,
Ooh,
I'd
yeah,
be for
that
it.
would be-
I'd definitely get it.
Yeah, like Lane, I until it's demonstrated in the market that these novelty type of Boba Fett items stop selling, they'll probably be like, "Let's do another."
Yeah, well, yeah. It's well, you've heard me. You had to listen to me lament over the fact that I didn't get this guy. This was the one figure before I decided to sell him that I would have, if someone had said, "Hey, I might trade you. Hey, what if I trade you straight up this guy for, Dark Side Anakin?" That's a trade I might have done.
Ooh, that'd be hard.
I would trade a Razor Crest still sealed in the box for this thing.
Jeez.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Would you
I
trade the
totally would.
Dark Side Anakin?
Nope. Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing, Aries. If one of these figures left the collection, then they all go, man. I'm one of those collectors that if I see something that I had and I sold off and is missing, it would just drive me nuts, man. I would be pulling the hair out my beard, and this thing would just drive me insane. So I'll have to get rid of them all, just on principle alone. So that's just the kind
That
of
would be
collector
almost
I am.
that would be almost be worth it just so we could get to P and see non-bearded El Profesoro.
Oh wow, nah, that's a sight you may not want to see.
I'm kind of the same way here, but listen, we talk about getting another novelty Boba Fett. Let's fill up table 2 again, but with this guy.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another.
Perhaps another.
Actually, now you think about it, the color scheme here is, even though the blue's a little bit brighter, that is almost a similar color scheme to, funny you bring up Thor, to the latest Thor figure that just got put up for pre-order. They're both bright and shiny. Both bright and shiny.
Those neon
With
type
the
colors,
yellows.
right?
Yeah, but this figure is amazing. Like, I know it's not the, quote, real Boba Fett look and everything, but I think what's going to help this guy retain his, even though obviously, and like another stream I was on, we talked, are there almost too many Boba Fetts, like from Book of Boba and other stuff coming out? Could that affect the value for them going long term? We discussed that a little bit. I think because of the unique coloration of this guy, and because, as Aries, you pointed out, he's kind of a very niche Boba Fett or figure with his coloration. I think that's always going to help him keep his value. Like you've talked, if they redo Dark Side Anakin, maybe the value for that figure might drop a little bit, but he has certain things that are exclusive to that figure that will always help him maintain a very high value.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've got 70 in here in the morning or the afternoon, depending on where you dwell. Go ahead and smash that like button, baby. You're watching Cheers, my friends, where the Dark Jedi is hanging out with some friends here. Come on. And let me know what table you're at. I will do my best to fill you up. Yeah, and you see like Thor obviously selling really, really well. The Dead Strange. And yet I just feel like with Star Wars, unless they muff up the next movie, which I guess could happen, but I feel like Disney is like, there's no way we could do that. They're going to be like on guard with it. They're going to have Favreau involved in it, Filoni involved in consulting with it, George Lucas, Deborah Chow, please. I just I can't even imagine where it could go. Like let me ask you a question, Mario. How many, for it to be doing this well, how many new collectors that collect Star Wars toys? Because I spoke about this I feel like a good majority of people who collect Star Wars, a good portion of them come from the foundation of the toy collecting of Star Wars, which
Yeah.
is where that started. Do you think a lot are coming in for this type of reaction, not only here, but in the secondary market? Because it can't be the same 200 people buying all these, unless it's Fabio.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, you see the trends of how well these figures are selling both on the primary and secondary markets, which leads me to believe that the community of Star Wars collectors is just consistently growing, right? I mean, it's and getting into the hot toys is basically the next evolution from Black Series or 3 3/4, right? So, I mean, for those that are wanting something, I guess, more high end, you start off with your first one, and after that, you get that in hand, and it's pretty much downhill. So, yeah, I believe there's still collectors coming in like every day, every week, every month for sure.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Late? I just feel like it continues. I feel like when a lot of the toy collectors of Star Wars, whether they're doing a lot of the old Power of the Force line, maybe they're doing like Gentle Giant or some of the other ones, which with Gentle Giant, they do those awesome vintage enlarged molds, which are absolutely fantastic. Um, I don't know. I feel like when they see a hot toy, that was my reaction anyway. I saw the hot toy and I'm like, holy frack. I'm like, oh, it changed. And I was watching it for years. And then honestly, when I saw that they were coming out with those vintage, like the vintage Vader and the vintage, it was the vintage color Boba Fett.
Boba Fett,
I was
yeah.
just, I just dove right in, hook, line, and sinker. They got
Yep.
me. I wonder how many people that they're doing that with, Lane.
Oh, I would suspect probably a good number of people, especially because, with kind of, despite even we had the dark times, I know, and stuff with like The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, new collectors, and also, you had people who grew up early on with the prequel trilogy who were now starting to get into their, mid 20s, maybe early 30s, who were old enough and maybe having been able to make or making some money where they could afford to buy something from Hot Toys, and they can look at Hot Toys where they may not be able to want to buy a $600-$700 statue, but these guys, the pricing for them, well, they're obviously not cheap. They're within where they could start collecting maybe some of their favorite characters from prequel trilogy, original trilogy. Obviously, we've got some of the more recent shows and stuff. And now there's new content being made for it, even though it's Disney Plus series versus a lot of movies right now. So you've got people able to actually buy, some of these figures. And what's helping with the secondary market, where they may not have collected at the time, as you pointed out, you have some of the original trilogies, like some of the old Leias. You've got like the Farm Boy Luke, or you've got the Stormtrooper Luke and Han and stuff. Obviously, that has helped probably drive up some of the prices of some of the 2-packs like Han and Chewie and Tarkin and Vader. So I think there's an influx in both markets, both trying to get newer figures coming out. And I'm willing to bet that for Hot Toys, the success of the MCU figures has probably trickled over somewhat to the Star Wars too, because they've, whether in Hong Kong or here, like there's, people who are buying some of maybe Marvel who have switched over or expanded a little bit to Star Wars now too.
That's a good point.
Figures coming out.
I think it's a combination of things, and I think like you said, people that were collecting that are collecting Marvel, collecting other things, and even people that like yourself, you collect statues, come from that arena. Star Wars is a pretty big IP, and it's a pretty, one of the largest, entertainment franchises in the world. So obviously, you're going to get a lot of those collectors that come in that are going to, buy the Star Wars figures. And I feel like Star Wars at its base, in somewhat as well, is, you've had a lot of collectors that have just came in from toys. And unlike people who collect statues and some of those higher end things, all they've been used to looking at is these crappy looking plastic figures, which I don't think that they're crappy, but a lot of us in that community joke that they are. I mean, then they look at a hot toy and they're like, geez, Louise, what is this thing? So they're not even coming from statues or from other things like that. They're just coming in from toys, and they're like, wait a minute here. This is way better than Hasbro. And I think you get some of that too, and I think that's part of what's happening with some of these, especially as Star Wars gets popular. So,
well, aren't these guys kind of the perfect middle ground, where you might like some of the bigger scale or detail you can get sometimes from statues, but they're, $500-600 or more a lot of times for those kind of things. And then you've got, obviously, talk about the Black Series, but there's some nice series like Vintage and other stuff is really cool as well in their own way. But these guys, where you're not going to necessarily play with these like you would your Black Series or when you were growing up, the old Kenner figures, but they do have posability where you can still manipulate them somewhat so that you can have them kind of they're the nice middle point from the action figures where you can do some posability, but they're also not meant to be just done all crazy with and stuff like that. You wouldn't give it to your 8 or 9-year-old to play with because they would break relatively easily. So there can be statuesque, but you can manipulate them basically.
Right.
well, here's Knight of Ren 789 saying he was in Droids. It was the same colorway. So maybe they could, kind of like that Dark Side Anakin, guys. I kind of feel like they're going to, whenever they reissue that or 2.0 it'll probably be called Darth Vader. I don't know if they'll call it Dark Side Anakin. And maybe they could do that if it's the same colorway. They could put that, animated vet that you brought up, Mario, that I just so happen to have on my fingertips because I'm a wizard, some data. Maybe they could put that in Droids packaging. Black Series is doing that. It's not even an anniversary. They're just straight out saying, yeah, here's Droids packaging.
No,
it's
absolutely.
Weird.
I mean, even with, we all know that Anakin Dark Side is definitely coming in some sort of 2.0 or what have you. Yeah, I also believe they should call it Darth Vader, because at the time that's who he was. It's not the Vader that everybody knows, but that was his title, man. So, yeah, hopefully, it'll be great. I mean, if they release this figure, if they re-released it, right, but they changed the base, in which you probably use, what if they use the Obi-Wan base, like half of it that was actually floating on the lava, so that way, if for those collectors that may have the original Dark Side, you've got the original base, and then you've got the newer one with the other base, so you can like swap it out, put Obi-Wan on there, and create yourself a nice little diorama with that piece right there. I think that'd be interesting.
That'd be very interesting there, Mario. No, and I think we could delve into that a little bit more. Knight of Red, I don't know if this is you, but this says Knight of Red 789, and this just came up and already has 18 watchers, really, Lane. And Lane, I know we talked, you sold yours for 810 last week.
Yep.
And you originally sold it for 700 something, and I said you need to thank goodness that guy didn't
Yeah.
pay, because with this finale it was going to go more. But you know what the tell of the tale is here? Because a lot of times the auctions, Lane, they sell more, and a listing, it's like, oh, they got it listed. Let me try and go ahead and make an offer. Let me see if I could do better on bidding it. And then the bidding usually winds up going higher 8 times out of 10 anyway, from what I see. But, just put this up, you get 18 watchers.
Already.
Actually, this is a pretty good deal right now, because this is like $10 less than what you sold it for.
Yeah. Well, I think you had mentioned, not I think it was a couple weeks ago, but you had in your data, didn't you have a Dark Side, and this one's obviously looks like it's in great shape. A lot of pictures will help sell this.
Yes.
Just like it looks like he's got still with the neck stuff. I mean, all that's great. And this one probably was off edge because you pointed out mine. I pointed out there was a third-party head sculpt that came with mine.
Yes. We talked about that. Yeah. I have thoughts on that. Yes.
Yeah. But this, what you were kind of mentioning just there, what you were talking about with Anakin's maybe Dark Side or even Light Side, the classic look getting reissued. Think about this for Obi-Wan for a second. What if they did Light Side and Dark Side Anakin? They could do Light Side Anakin would get released with maybe if they did a kind of base that was based off where he and Obi-Wan had their kind of practice duel that was with, shown throughout episode 5 of Obi-Wan. And then maybe Dark Side Anakin, they replaced like the Mustafar stuff with a special diorama style base when it's supposed to be showing from the flashbacks him in the hallway when he actually runs into. Sorry, guys, a little bit of spoilers here. I'm just realizing as I'm saying this when they show him when he runs into Reba, in the halls
That's
that Temple could do
good.
as a base. So that could help make it a little bit differentiated from this one. Now, I don't know if they did Darkseid, other than maybe they label it Darth Vader. I don't know if he would have the dark side eyes necessarily because, he only had that in the one scene in Revenge of the Sith when he turns his head and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they might, I don't know if this one with that head sculpt, could they do a Darth Vader, but it's still just the light side Anakin one, possibly?
I want to go. I want to go to your first point because it's a really a really valid one there. Idea, Lane, to Mario. Mario, I actually, when Lane said this, it was kind of like subconsciously crossing my mind. And Night Red said, "Yeah, the robes of pleather are in great shape. That is him." Well, good luck with this, my friend. But people are having no problem selling this right now, for these prices. So it's crazy, but. I could almost see them doing that, Mario. Like Lane was saying, coming out with a 2-pack and being like, "Hey, it's basically the same robes." I mean, basically, it was just look. Let me fill up because everyone's asking me, or a lot of people are asking me, to fill up table 66. So right after this scene, he basically turned into Darth Vader. So he went from Anakin, and then henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader. It's the same robes. So what Lane's saying, can you imagine if they kill 2 birds in 1 stone? Because you got this one going insane. You got the regular one going insane. And Hot Toys comes out and says, "Hey, by the way, you can get one with both head sculpts." I mean,
I think it's likely that we'll probably get a single pack with 2 head sculpts rather than more than an actual dual pack. Given their history, that's what I picture them doing. Just so that, hey, we'll force you to buy 2 single packs and they'll probably capitalize even more off of that, rather than give everyone a possible deal with a dual pack. I would prefer a double pack as well, with that. But that's just my line of thought, really. I just think that's what they'll probably do.
Yeah, Jack
I do
Jones.
like the idea. I'm sorry. I do like the idea though of coming out with what Lane mentioned, is that having some part of the Jedi Temple actually for a base, for a little diorama base. That's actually a really great idea, and just put everything under the Obi-Wan label. That'd be great. Be all in for that.
Yeah.
But didn't you mention? Sorry, I know I kind of jump tracks a little bit. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. That I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't there a Dark Side Anakin sold like 1,000 or more or something? Like sold as much as like the Vader 2-pack or just for showing how crazy this figure has been, as like the Vader and Tarkin 2-pack are up there almost as more than or as same as the Han and Chewie 2-pack. I think you had shown one a couple of weeks ago.
I could show one. I could show a regular Anakin right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
And not even just back from June 26th. This is MMS 437. $910.
That's sold?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So now I know why you were telling me maybe I was selling it for too little.
Well, and and like I said,
Jeez.
I mean, people are, and I'm noticing too, if they can get like a shipping box, the original brown shipper, or if they label it as new, if they have a lot of pictures in there, if it's a big time seller, they're paying crazy 2-pack money, guys, for these figures. And that's the thing, like I opened up the show with, because I think maybe the 3 of us and people in the chat would expect Dark Side Anakin. Okay, that was going pretty high. I really didn't expect this, to be honest with you guys, with regular Anakin. I mean, I'm like, holy crap, especially because you can get the other one. I knew Dark Side was going to be high, but it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, I think, well, I'm sure there's some collectors that might, there's a third-party figure coming out of this thing, I think it's a dark side Anakin, isn't it? But Lane, I can't help but wonder if you can actually swap the head with the Clone Wars Anakin on that thing. Granted, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but I think you'll get
Yeah,
a better
that's a
sculpt
good.
out of it.
I would assume so if it has at least the neck joint where you can stick the other part in and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I thought I saw someone do that, or maybe it was a regular light side Anakin head sculpt. I think I see someone do that at some point, so that the hair and everything, because that's for the facial sculpt between the light side and the Clone Wars. Like that's the only difference is the hair length is different.
Yeah.
They're almost
All you gotta
exactly
do
the
is
same.
just,
They're the same.
just put the hood on
otherwise.
top of them, and you'll never know.
Yeah, no, but this is. I mean, this is just. I know Dark Side Anakin has always been, the last couple of years has always been, obviously for single character release figures, been a high one. But like this has gotten, this is bananas, man. That you're willing to go spend what almost as much as buying 3 figures, right? Even though the prices have increased, you could still order and get 3 figures shipped for that amount almost.
Knight of Ren, I wouldn't, but this is just my opinion. It depends on how bad and how fast you need the money. I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm showing you regular Anakin. I'm going to put something else up there right now for Lane and Mario to kind of ponder. You can. I always prefer what I would sell for people to reach out to me and ask, and then you can make some type of deal. But you have to wait a couple of weeks. I mean, it could go down a little bit, settle down, but the way Star Wars is going, it could be like when Lane sold it for 700 something, and then you may be able to get 900. I would just leave it. You already got freaking 18, 19 watchers. You just put it up yesterday. So I would just, I wouldn't overthink it unless you need the money tonight. And that's where you can get a lot of bargains on eBay, guys, is I know that there's people that put stuff up there and they're like, I want the money tonight. And I'm like, well, I can't give you 700 for animated FET, but I'll give you 375 if you want to take it right now. I'll send it. And once in a blue moon, someone will bite, and I'll be like, "Yeah, damn." But I mean,
Wait,
I don't know.
How much in fees is eBay taking these days?
It took out. So when everything was finished, I got like 712, 713 total from the figure.
Pretty good with all the
Really
fees
good,
taken out.
So after shipping, after fees, you
because since they put it directly now into your account instead of going through like say PayPal or something.
Yeah.
Then because it used to be you got hit with that, so it's still a lot, but you used to get hit by whatever their fees were, and also then the PayPal fees. So that would just crush you. But it's. I mean, that was a hard figure to like a very. If I didn't have something, like I said, super specific that I knew I was going to need it for, and I'm like, I got to come up with cash in a certain way because this statue is going to come out in the next 2 months. But I was getting the Anakin one stacked, so I'm very much of the mindset. As much as I like that one, I also really like Clone Wars Anakin, and that one has a vehicle and stuff. So I want it. I'm usually I want one rendition of a character type person. It's why. Even my troopers, I'll usually buy just one of the troopers.
Yeah, I carry some crazy things about that. Actually, Fabio's gonna do an unboxing on the Cantina Insiders with his Anakin and the staff is holding off on it while I do my Chirrut Deluxe. So hopefully we get to do that this 4th of July weekend. Get to see another crazy unboxing, but it'll be the first time I'm doing it with somebody at the same time. Lane, you and I've got to do that with one of yours after I do one,
and we can finally, it shall be settled once and for all.
Yes.
Who unboxes? Now Aries is going to be doing it on, see everybody, you know what he's going to do. He's going to be like trying to reach in one of the hands and purposely dropping it back in and everything. And just be like, see, I told you, and sounding like Brainy Smurf. Repeating himself over and over again.
Your statement was so intense, man. Your camera shifted, bro.
Yeah, you got so intense there.
I will be the worst, darn it. I will
there goes
be
again.
the worst. Yeah.
Sorry, you're hammering it down. Listen, we've got 81 in here watching. Cheers, my friends, with Aries in the morning. Let's go ahead and smash that like button for the Dark Jedi. All right, so Mario and Lane, this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to put this up for you. All right, and so here's an interesting thing. It had 6 days, Mario, and 5 hours left, all right? It already has
Wow.
26 bids and is at 560 with 6 days left. And that's how you could kind of tell, like, is this thing really tracking like this? Like, I put up that and you're like, what the heck? I mean, dude, this is
This
insanity to me.
this figure not that long ago, well, before Obi-Wan was selling for what, like 400 in the high 400 or so.
Yeah, it was around
Man,
like even before the show, you could actually get it all in because it was up for a little bit last year, but not too high. It was like maybe at like it was right at 600. Then you can get it for like 560 shipped, but not now.
yeah, those days are good. It's amazing. Now, why can't Hot Toys actually? You see this, man. You see how people are capitalizing on the hype, and the buyers are there. So if Hot Toys were to actually drop something that much closer to when we're watching a series, or either before, or a little bit after, man, they can completely capitalize. What was it the other night after Obi-Wan ended? I mean, we end up what? We end up getting a Thor instead of
Mhm.
something from the Obi-Wan series. I'm like,
And then the
come
week after,
on.
the Purge Trooper.
Yeah, yeah.
Aries, let me ask
This
you. I just had, sorry. No, shut
no,
up.
this
Finish
is
your thought,
insane,
Eric.
Aries. I didn't think that this
Wait,
figure would
Lady
actually reach
Hubbard,
that
I can
status.
hardly see your face. You have to Hubbard yourself back up. You got to give yourself an uppercut, babe.
Okay. Sorry.
There you go.
Easy
Sorry,
there.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Professor. I just had a thought. Sorry,
Uh-oh.
thoughts jump in
Uh-oh.
my head sometimes.
Uh-oh.
What I know that you talked about with like fabs and stuff, and obviously there's been a lot of talk for Toy Fair. What you guys are talking about right now. Now this is just kind of shooting what you guys were talking. What do you think the response would be if what we were talking about? Maybe not. What if they announced that one of like the like how the armor was kind of the Star Wars was Toy Fair exclusive, whatever figure this is coming out this year. What if they announced something like the Darth Vader Anakin or the whatever they called him, like Sith Anakin, which is basically a reissue of this figure with some slight differences. Was the Toy Fair exclusive, since they literally would just have to remake it. They literally have everything. What if they announced that? Could you imagine the response for that?
Yeah, I actually think, and I could be. I think the response would be off the charts. But and I like your thought about the two figures, but I kind of like also Mario's thought on the two head sculpts with one body, because to me, if I'm looking at this from, I guess I could look at it two ways from Hot Toys. I mean, they're looking at this figure and they're like, wow, look at this. So we can go ahead and put out another version. He was already in, the show like this. He was already in as Darkseid Anakin multiple times in the Obi-Wan series. Not with the red eyes in the third sister scene, but still Darth Vader. It's still the Darkseid Anakin. But I'm almost like, I don't know what'll make them more money, but I'm trying to think, because there's a lot of variables that will go into that. But with one corrugate and one packaging, they could kind of be like, hey, here's a figure with two head sculpts. Here's the regular Anakin. Here's the Darkseid Anakin. Here you go. And then people are spending this kind of money on that. It's got to go to number one. You're seeing the Clone Wars Anakin, like it's. I just had it up on the screen. It's Cad Bane, Dead Strange, and Anakin. It's like crazy. So I mean, I don't see, Mario, how if they came out with something like what Lane's saying there, or especially like what you said with two head sculpts like this, it probably goes to number one.
Oh, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Again, it's just capitalizing on the hype of Obi-Wan. Everyone now wants an Anakin even more in their collection, especially after the performance that we've seen. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be up there if they release it. I'm still hoping for it, and I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But I'm just impatiently waiting for it to battle damage Vader. I really want that setup with the whole, how the helmet exposed, with Anakin's face exposed, through the gashed helmet, completely battle damaged. Man, I mean, I would just look amazing on the shelf.
Yeah. I and Lane, you brought this up earlier in the show. Like, you said you're on another show. It's like too many fets. And from my perspective, I don't think we have. I think we're probably going to have another 2 or 3 fets. When
We
you
got
add
more
in,
Mando series coming that he's going to appear in. We're going to have more
between
fans.
this year and next year, and the other ones aren't necessarily all going to be announced and off pre-order at that time. I mean, I literally could see about 5 or 6 vets up at once. I think that's going to happen with Luke. With the about 4 Lukes. I know it's going to happen with Vader. And here's the interesting thing with Vader, because Mario, you were bringing this up about, can't wait for that figure and what's next. But they released a Purge Trooper first, and we're like, what the heck? I mean, okay, like we got, they're letting we're starting to come, but they didn't give us the big enchiladas yet. They didn't give us Obi-Wan. They didn't give us Darth.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, because I really think, Lane, they're going to come out with a couple of, at least 2 Vaders from this series. Even if they DX one, I still think there'll be another one. But I do see at least 2 Vaders, not including Darth Vader without the suit, which is the dark side Anakin, not including that. But remember what the anniversary is next year for a pretty significant movie. Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. All the toy companies are going to be using that packaging, like, Attack of the Clones. So, Lane, there's not a chance in the world that you could do Return of the Jedi and not put Darth Vader from the ending scene of that film.
Oh, no, they have to. They've never done it either. So,
I mean,
where it's not a, quote, new release, they only did that Vader in quarter scale, so it would be kind of a new-ish Vader. That Vader I would buy over the Obi-Wan, because as much as I like Hayden Christensen stuff and I like the half face reveal, I'm an original trilogy guy. Seeing Sebastian Stan as revealed as he's not even old man Vader. He's my age, literally almost my age in actual physical years. At that point, he's only like early mid 40s, which is just telling how young he was when he became, mecha suit Darth Vader or mecha armor.
No, they have to. You're right. They have to. It's iconic.
I would have. They has to be that. I have to get that Vader. That Vader's. I have to buy it.
So, I mean, Mario, do you really see a scenario? I mean, what is your thoughts? Do they come out with that 40th packaging and hold off on that figure, give us something else from Return of the Jedi, or is that it?
No. Vader's their go-to, man. It's an easy sell. They did the same thing for the 40th anniversary of Empire. They put out the most basic ones, easiest ones that they could sell, which is Vader and Boba Fett. They like Lane alluded to, they already have the quarter scale. They can usually shrink that down to 6 scale. And most likely, you've proven me wrong already with the Clone Wars packaging, so I'm going to go ahead and ride with you in regards to the 40th anniversary packaging for Jedi. I know I was skeptical about that, but I mean, they did it, man. So yeah, I've got no doubt that they'll actually do the same thing with this version of Anakin, or Vader coming out, rather. Redeemed Anakin, or redeemed Vader, whatever they're going to call him. But yeah, I'd be all over that. As far as which one I prefer, I'm probably with Lane. But still, I'd still get them both, because that's Star Wars is my
hard
focus. You guys already know. But if I had a choice between the two, I'd definitely consider me being OT trilogy based. I would definitely go with the Return of the Jedi version.
Yeah, me too. That would be my first choice. But you bring up a good point, Mario. For me, being as diehard as I am, I have to have the Hayden one too, because I love Hayden and I love that. But I'm an OT guy, so I've got to go with that. But here's the interesting thing. So if you guys calculate, like if we calculate this, Mario, if they're going to do that next year, and whether it's May 4th next year that they put out that packaging, like they did Attack of the Clones this year, these figures are going to come out with now are not going to be out yet. They're not going to be officially announced at Hong Kong. They're not going to be available here yet. So you could potentially have, that's 1 Vader. If you're going to have a dark side Anakin, they're going to call it Darth Vader. That's 2 Vaders. If you're going to get just 1 from this series, that's 3 Vaders. So I'm being conservative, but you can see where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
I think you're going to have 3 Vaders by next May. I just do. At least on pre-order.
And I say that bring them all on, man. I need the battle damage. I want the throne. I want Anakin, Darth Vader. Bring it all, man. I'm all for it. Options, man. I mean, that's the thing. I know everybody complains sometimes that there's too many options in regards to whether it be a Stormtrooper or whether it be a Spider-Man or an Iron Man figure, but to me, they're all different. It's all variety. So you can go and just pick and choose, or if you want to be like one of those insane collectors like myself, get them all.
Or Fabio.
Or Fabio, exactly.
Well, I mean, I think we need to go ahead and fill up the Dark Lords who are sitting at table 10. And And who knows? Maybe we would get a fourth Darth with how big Darth Vader is. Look at a Darth Vader from this series.
That happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed that.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
Oh my gosh, please. I would love that, man. Give me Dark Helmet with the Mr. Coffee with the Mr.
Dude,
Rental in the
that would be
background. I would love it, dude.
Oh
And-
my god!
and
Yes, Mr.
and-
Coffee.
And also major bleep there from that scene where he's talking to him. He's my cousin, sir.
But Mario, I
Oh.
forgot about the coffee scene, the Mr. Coffee. Now I got to get that.
You
clip.
gotta get
Come
that.
on.
that-
What's all this turning in public? You call this a radar or whatever? No, sir. We call it Mr. Coffee. Everyone knows I want coffee with when I watch the radar, right?
So
Dude,
wait,
I love
does that
that,
mean
man.
could Hot Toys make a like 1/500 scale like what was it? The May transformation for Spaceball 1. That would be great.
Oh,
The
God.
giant vacuum cleaner.
Who has
Mega
the
Man.
rights to Spaceball? Because they used a lot of that stuff. I mean, do you think it'd be hard, guys, for Hot Toys? I mean, I don't know. I feel like if they made like
Baseball
a Dark Helmet,
Trooper, man, I'd be all over that. We got to
they'd
buy
probably
like,
sell them. I know I'd buy it.
with giant combs.
I mean, a lot of people would buy them. I mean, would you guys buy? Let's go. Would
dude.
would both of you buy Dark Helmet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Without
yeah,
a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like he could be just the one-off, and just Darth Helmet's going right next to Darth Vader. Like who's got the bigger saber?
There's so many photo opportunities, man, with having that figure. You can do so. I mean, he's pretty much. I mean, I don't want to say like Deadpool where you can put him anywhere, but I mean, just to have Dark Helmet just like interact with everyone within the Star Wars universe, man. There's so much opportunity there you could do, like photography wise, man. And oh, dude, I would love that.
Bob Dylan says Luke
Mhm.
and Ahsoka each have DX releases. So does Darth Maul. I'm going to throw that in there, Bob.
Multiple.
Anakin Vader deserves one at least. I'm going to go with you first, Lane, on that. Do you agree? I agree with Bob on this. I actually think Obi-Wan as well deserves one. But go.
Yeah, I would kind of be shocked if since like we just had the Bespin Luke, which had the DX version regular. As much as we find it I find it stupid regular and a deluxe. I think that's just stupid. I think that they're going to do if you're going to still try it, the DX series has to have a Vader. If they only do one, like quote one Vader from this one, there should be it should be deluxe Vader with maybe basic base or something like that, and then there should be DX version deluxe, which it comes with. I'm not sure what. Maybe you guys have ideas what it could come with, but maybe the regular DX is only just the regular Vader non-damaged Vader helm, and the deluxe is going to be an alternate Vader helmet that goes on that shows Anakin's partial his. I honestly think that's how Hot Toys is going to do it. I think there's going to be a DX series one where there's a regular DX and then a deluxe version, which the deluxe is going to be the one everybody buys. Because right now, doesn't it seem Hot Toys is obsessed with a regular and DX version of figures? Like they've had a lot recently, not excluding DX series, but I mean just regular. Look at Cad Bane. I mean,
yeah,
I understand when Denobi actually, when I was on the other said, did we really need the regular 270 version and a DX version for 290? Mm-hmm. Why not just do the 290 version? Because I was like, I countered. I said, well, I could see this being for two different people. If people only know Cad Bane from his appearance in Book of Boba Fett, they're probably going to be good just getting saving the $20 and get the 270. If you're more like us who have seen all the material, we're going to aim for because we want Toto and we want the jets and stuff that he used, like when he fought Qui-Gon Boss.
Well, it's a great way to market the because people are investing a lot, Lane, into the Clone Wars figures, obviously. So I thought that was brilliant because now you've got not that you needed a reason to buy Cad Bane. And I thought that he was one of the major highlights of the Book of Boba Fett series. But you throw in the Clone Wars with people buying all these Clone Wars figures. And I have some news on the 501st, which is kind of going up way faster than even I thought that it would at this stage, which is a little bit crazy to me, for how long that was up in there. But it's brilliant because now you get to have both versions. You're able to be like, hey, this Cad Bane will fit into the Clone Wars collection, Mario, and then honestly, it fits into the Clone Wars collection, that Cad Bane, because they use real head sculpts anyway. They're not doing it like Sideshow where it looks like the animated series. Looks like real people from like live action.
Yeah. Hot Toys went that same route with all the Clone Wars figures as well. So yeah, it would definitely fit in there, no problem. But yeah, man, Bob Dylan definitely brings up a great point. Just considering how iconic Vader is, he's like the most known antagonist across any media that's out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've all like agreed on that before. So to me is a bit of a disservice to not have him in that line. Although in my personal opinion, I don't think much about the DX line anymore. I just think it should be killed off. There's no reason for it, in my opinion. But if they just,
I can understand that. It feels like they have no direction with it. While it's cool, I think it's cool, and I love the purrs, the eyes. I feel like they're giving that in figures like the Clone Wars.
Regular Clone Wars is okay. Yeah,
that's not a DX.
Exactly.
Yes, I feel like they don't know.
And you see that they're doing the same thing with the MMS series, is there where they offer a standard and a deluxe, and it has basically just as much as accessories as any other DX would be out there, right? And now they've altered the packaging a bit to where it's not completely foam. Yeah, it's just the figure itself is in a little small foam tray, and that's about it. But you do have the nice box, the nice packaging, and everything, which I still appreciate, but I just think it's like unnecessary. But if they actually want to impress me, then that's when I say release a 2-pack. Harken back to the DX04, the DX05, or 07 rather. Just give us a 2-pack.
Got it right there, baby.
Yep.
DX07.
DX07.
Yeah, they don't make them.
So jealous, dude. If they would come back with a 2-pack, man, I mean, do it right. Go big or go home. Making real DX. Make it a 2-pack of either one of each, Anakin and Vader, or both of the same, whether clean or battle damage, what have you, and just go to town with it, man. Go big or go home.
Yeah, let's go ahead and fill up table 1 with the Dark Lords again, especially this one.
The force is strong in this one.
The force is strong with Darth Vader. No, I agree. All right, so Lane, let's go to you with this because I want to get into the other half of
one thing, Aries. Let me amend my previous statement. I think Das Mizzle pointed out, if we had a DX, there's a regular. Let me amend real quick. The Vader, if there was DX Series 1, the regular Vader DX comes with both head battle damaged and so everything would be the same there. But Das Mizzle pointed out, he said throne. So the Sith throne would come with the deluxe version of the DX figure. That would make it a DX. If they had just the one figure with the 2 head sculpts, that would make it, I think, a DX series figure.
Well, and Doc also says Ultimate Anakin Vader 2-pack coming, and it'll be $650. Okay, so let me go to you here real quick, Lane, with this question, and then we ask Mario. How many Vaders? Okay, including Dark Side Anakin, okay, which I think is Darth Vader. And they don't have to label it from the series. They could label it Revenge of the Sith, and they could also say as also seen in the Obi-Wan series, or they could do it vice versa. But including that, how many announcements labeled Darth Vader in some capacity do you see from this Obi-Wan series? 4.
From Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think that's far off. I see 2 or 3, but 4, I could see it. I can see it.
I think 2 would be a DX Deluxe Series 1. You would have then obviously Darkseid, and these are ones I could see. Like this would be the max number I could see that they would do. And even that, if you're telling me 4, that I might comment a little bit. That might be overload by a bit. But how many Boba Fetts have we seen? Like there's 3 different Boba Fetts for Mando season.
A lot of people
4 or
didn't
5.
Think, yeah,
from that.
Lane. A lot of people didn't think we would get a book of Boba Fett, but they put it out. They're going to use that mold.
And they have a quarter scale. So I can't. I know it's not 6 scale. I know it's quarter scale, but it's a Hot Toys figure from that series. So there's 2 Boba Fett's from that series.
There's 2.
Maybe not
quarter
6 scale, but it's a Hot Toys figure.
So if you're saying 3 or 4, I could see it this way. I could see the one that they teased at Celebration, minus they didn't show you the head sculpt from episode 2, where he just puts on, in the back of the tank, you see that head sculpt. Then I could see one where he has the throne, where he's sitting on the throne with the Emperor, and we see that hologram there. And then obviously I see a battle damage one, which would be sick, which I don't think that there's a chance in hell we don't get some type of battle damage from that scene. And then, of course, the dark side Anakin. So that's kind of what you're saying. You're seeing like 4 like that.
Yeah. And then if what I was saying with the DX series one, there's a regular DX, which would be like both head sculpts and stuff if they only do one of those. And then I could see there just being a clean one too that doesn't have anything at all. Like it's more like Rogue One, bare bones one and stuff.
They got to give it a head sculpt with that, though, don't they? I mean, that was the big part.
No, I could see two separate things. I could see them do a bare bones, like I don't know,
Rogue
270, One. Like Rogue One, basically reissue almost because this guy the figure looked basically was Rogue One.
Yeah.
And then there could be a DX series because they're going to melt this series because we don't know. The next one they have for Star Wars to work with is Andor. And we don't know how that series is necessarily going to go. Andor is not a major character that I think everybody go, oh my God, I got to have my Andor. Because I didn't.
Easy.
But I could see them doing that. But then the DX could be just with the 2 head sculpts for a regular version and then a throne that would come with like it's going to be like the Boba throne with the repaint versus the regular repainted one where, it's going to be a lot more expensive for the one throne, like 400 and something.
Yeah. If they don't give you a DX, and I kind of like Doc's idea here, I also think that they could do it. I actually think, Mario, that they can do it, even expanding on what Doc says here, give you an ultimate Anakin 2-pack without Vader at all in it, or being just dark side Anakin, Darth Vader, and Anakin. And I think that they can do Vader 2-pack. Here's the thing. I feel like if they come out with Darth Vader DX, we could eliminate like these 4, because I actually see where Lane's going, and I've said it, we could get 4 from this series. I feel like if we get a DX Vader, where it's just Vader, we can maybe narrow this down to, okay, maybe 2 Vaders. Maybe if they can give us an ultimate Vader DX, and it's like, okay, you can get everything in that, and then maybe another Vader. I think that would be enough, especially if they're going to give you a real DX like from the past.
Yeah, I agree. I think I could probably see like about maybe. I was thinking something insane like 6. But here's the thing. I'm thinking about like clean Vader as well, right?
They got to give you a clean one, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get a clean one, I believe, for sure. But if they want to do like an ultimate DX with that one, it's got to come with the throne for one. It's got to come with parts so you can make like a Build-A-Vader, right, on a gantry possibly, and separate with a back to tank with Vader there just hanging out in the back to tank. I was gonna say that could probably be 3 SKUs right there by itself. So they would make a single one, and then like they'll make a DX and then a DX Deluxe or what have you of either one of them. After that, I could probably see a battle damage version along with some sort of version of Darkseid Anakin in the 2-pack as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as Lane mentioned too, which was a great point, to the Boba Fett series is a quarter scale version of Vader. They can easily do that. I could see them actually doing that as well, doing another quarter scale of this Vader, probably all clean and with the head sculpt as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's at least maybe 3 to 4 right there that I'm thinking about that they can do.
Yeah. I think we're all under consensus that, and while Vader goes insane in the secondary market, that we're going to get a lot of Vaders here. But I want to go to the antithesis of Vader, and let me bring this up on the screen. And so many of them are selling in the 600s, and then people just can't wait. And I mean, like, okay. Here's Obi-Wan Kenobi Deluxe selling June 15th for for an Obi-Wan. Even you had one before selling earlier than that, before the series even started. Obi-Wan Kenobi right now, guys, is insane. I'm actually going to go to sixscalecantina.com and I'm going to go to the biggest mover section, which was updated again today, earlier this morning. And I'm going to go to the biggest mover section. And you got some interesting things all throughout over here. But, you know, just staying right here right now, we're talking about Dark Side Anakin. We're talking about regular Anakin. You see Obi-Wan, you know, sandwiched in between both Anakins, Mario, staying with you and putting that up on the screen. How many Obi-Wans can you see from this series? Because Obi-Wans, whether it's a New Hope, that one's like crazy right now. This one's crazy. People are trying to get their hands on this figure. I've been showing a lot of data on this. I know you've popped in some of the chats on some of the shows. Dude, Obi-Wan's off the charts. How many Obi-Wans can we get from this? Are we just going to get the one and that's it? A DX maybe?
I'm hoping we only get the one, but it's a possibility that we can get three, considering that we saw them in three or four, I think, different outfits. So,
oh yeah, you had that freaking battle on the temple that we were talking about in the beginning with I think for sure they're either gonna capitalize on that with the Attack of the Clothes packaging.
Yeah,
they have to.
Right.
And I know that
I'm sure we're gonna see that variation of Mythos at the very end. That's what I'm hoping that we're gonna see.
Oh, that's a good point, because that is a variation of Mythos. So I mean, I feel like right there you get three. I mean, the third one could be where they're like, hey, okay, it's an Attack of the Clones packaging, and they add a head sculpt where he looks a little bit because my wife noticed it. My daughters are like, hey, this scene is super cool. They did a great job. They're obviously older. So, you know, would they give like an alternate head sculpt that you could pop on those outfits? I don't know. There's so many ways that they could do that, where they could say, hey, as also seen in the Obi-Wan series. But I agree, we could get that Mythos look. There's no way we're not going to get Mario the regular look from the first episodes. No way. We have to get that.
Yeah, where he's in the blue garbs. And that's what I was saying. That for the one in the first episode, along with the way that we saw him in Jabim, with the sleeveless robe. Right. So there's three of them right there. And Aries, if you scroll up a little bit on this page, just a little right, a little bit more, a little bit down. I'm sorry, just scroll down just a little bit, just a little tad the way you had it, just a little bit down, a little bit down, a little bit down, a little more, a little more, a little more, right there. You have me framed up perfectly to where my screen right there, is right next to the arrow going up. So I appreciate that, man.
He's on the right, the El Professor. One of a kind figure is on the way up. Hot toy.
El Profesoro is trending up. That's perfect.
Trending up, man. Love it.
Oh, yeah,
awesome. I think definitely we'll probably see at least a minimum of at least two for Obi-Wan.
Where I'm seeing this figure a lot right now, Lane, is I'm seeing the Obi-Wan Deluxe selling $600, $700 range. And I'm seeing the regular one $500, $600 range. That's insane for this figure. So when they come out with these Obi-Wans, whether it's the Clone Wars, but we got to talk about this, because they're going to come out with General Obi-Wan. They're going to come out with the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. They just are. They're absolutely going to do that. You see that the Clone Wars Anakin is not affecting the Revenge of the Sith Anakins.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the Clone Wars Anakin is going to affect this in the long term at the end of the day as well. Will the Obi-Wans from the series affect this, or is this just too iconic from Revenge of the Sith? This is its own thing.
Obi-Wan, I think, might be a little bit harder for me to predict, because I think it depends. Literally, it could depend a little bit on how the head sculpt comes out for the Obi-Wan series ones.
Oh, you know they're gonna nail it. They
yeah. Well, I'm just saying comparison, because a lot of people have been buying this one because it's the movie. I know it's probably what I would consider the more iconic version of the character, you know, Versus, I think the most iconic is obviously the Alex Guinness version from A New Hope. As much as I like Ewan McGregor, but he also Ewan McGregor made Obi-Wan kind of a character more, for showing his kind of rise of a Jedi Master and stuff in the prequels. But because the head sculpt for the Obi-Wan Revenge of the Sith one has always been a little, it's good but not great because the prototype, the head sculpt looked way better than how the final one came out. And I don't know, Mario, because you have this one, correct? The Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right here.
Yeah, like he's
And Lane,
good,
you got to fix your head. It's I can't see your lips again.
We're just talking to your forehead. Bro.
There we go. There's Lane.
Okay, so and then joined by his buddies Krennic and Gideon. So I don't think they're going to affect this figure so much, but I could see maybe it going down a little. I mean, it's not going to be the high. I think the high it's been recently. It's always going to be a pretty high dollar figure. But those ones I could see if the head sculpt is nailed for Ewan McGregor, especially I think kind of the Mythos, like from the very end of the series, that Mythos as like more Jedi robe looking one, because that's the one I want. Like that's from Obi-Wan. That is the one I want to get for him. I could see if their head sculpts are really good, maybe affecting the value of that guy, so it goes down a little bit from the heights that it was at. But it'll still always be like a $450, $500 figure, I think.
Yeah, and it's hard to know. Good thoughts there, Lane. And it's hard to argue with single songwriter here. He says, Luke, we have one. Leia, Old Ben, Han, Chewbacca, all deserve a DX. If not for the original family, none of this would be happening. When you talk about like the original cast, and especially if you talk about Leia and Han, I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, a lot of people think Luke, Leia, and Han, that is Star Wars for a lot of people. So no, I could definitely, and honestly, I could see. Can you even imagine, Mario, if we got a DX Leia? I'd love that. A DX Han would be amazing. I actually, I know you want to get rid of the DX line, but I could actually see them. You put it to you this way: if they put out an Ahsoka DX, they could certainly, and Ahsoka's awesome, but Leia's awesome too. So is Han Solo. Yeah. I could see them doing it.
Yeah. I mean, single songwriter does bring up an excellent point because, yeah, they're pretty much the foundation of the Star Wars universe. I mean, not just them. You've also got Vader, Chewie as well. Yeah, they're all there. I would just have a hard time imagining what kind of accessories that you would include in this DX pack to actually consider it as a DX. And which version of the character do you choose to be a DX? That's another thing. So are we all going off of New Hope, or Empire, or Jedi? I'm just curious.
Empire.
What's thoughts about that?
Empire or Jedi would be awesome for Leia. Can you imagine that if we did Empire or because here's the thing. Right now, the Bespin Leia is going up. The Hoth Leia, forget about it. And I really think that they're going to come out with a Bespin Escape Leia, another a Leia from there. Mm-hmm. They could be like, hey, let's kill all these birds with one stone. Here's a DX Leia from Empire Strikes Back, and you get the Hoth head sculpt, you get the Hoth, hair, you get the somehow that you could maybe get the Bespin in there, and somehow you can switch the head, whereas she has the hair down, but still with the Hoth outfit from when she was dealing with the Minox or whatever on the Falcon when a dinosaur had that in there. All of a sudden, and then you put it with Purse, and then everyone's going to buy that figure. Be like, oh yeah, I got to go with you. Got to go with that one. That could be one way.
Definitely, yeah. Actually, Luke does have a DX. We all forget the Bespin version, right? So he's got two of them.
Two. Now, is Luke Mando? The Luke Mando's a DX.
Yeah, it's
too,
a
right?
it's a DX series one.
Wow, so that one is too.
DX and a DX Deluxe as well.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing because we had them almost kind of back to back where we were talking about I remember when those were announced where it was the quote watering down of the DX line a little bit because we had the Luke one, and then we had the Ahsoka. Now that Ahsoka, I don't care that Ahsoka, the Mando one, is not a DX figure. I don't care what they label it as. It doesn't come with enough to be a DX figure, even in comparison to the Mando Luke one. Yeah, DX Leia from Bosch Leia.
Oh, man, I would love it, baby.
Please,
I would
please.
love it, baby.
And
That
40th
ain't-
anniversary
what-
DX
what-
packaging as well.
Yeah. That would be the one, but
You got a better chance of seeing Cara Dune
yeah.
than Slave Leia. I can tell you right now.
I don't know about that.
Or the
I don't know if
frog
I go
lady.
that far.
Well,
I think Cara Dune's less chance.
Cara Dune, actually, dude. You know Cara Dune is up
I
on
would get-
StarWars.com. You do know that, right?
Oh, she is.
Like,
She's been
that's
showing up
weird.
at conventions lately too.
Yes.
So she's probably back in
Yeah.
the fold anytime
Okay, I
soon.
take back my
Yeah,
previous
so
statement.
so you know what? But you bring up a great point, though, Lane. So let's give you credit where credit is due.
I want a figure of her.
This
I
is
would buy her.
StarWars.com. So if they really and they're actually using Carano's likeness, and like what Mario said, she's showing up at these conventions. You know, Mario, I'm gonna go with you first on this, because I don't know if you've watched wrestling through the years, and obviously some of these that, you know, they get like outlawed. They've had similar situations. They're gone for 36 months. All of a sudden, all is good. There's apology here. There's this here. Everyone forgets about it. They're back and gone. Could this be the scenario with this character?
I think so. I mean, I think she's more beloved by everyone than all this whole what's going on professionally with her in Disney. Yeah, I think I know she'll be welcomed back with open arms for sure.
Yeah, Lade, I actually get a feeling that at the end of the day, this will work out. And give me your thought now, my friend.
That I just put, like I just said, I retract previous statement. But I mean, because the only real Cara Dune stuff we have right now is
Fix your camera, bro.
my camera. You can see me fine.
You barely
Lane,
see
you're
me.
on fire and you're pounding the pavement, and it's like you're a judge saying order in the cantina, and you're pounding yourself down.
Yeah, but for Cara Dune, I would really like because we only have right now the Black Series figure. There's been the premium format statue, which unfortunately the skull for that didn't come out like that good at all. I would really like to see a Hot Toys version of her in her, Rangers outfit and stuff. I think she's a character that deserves. I mean, we still haven't got Grief Karga. I still don't understand why we haven't got Grief Karga at this point. But
You may be getting him here at the end of July, because they could wait. Not to jump the, but I put it. They could actually wait on Carl Weathers until February, or until the end. What is it going to be? February, March, April next year, May of next year to put out Grief Karga. I actually don't think they will. I really think that one of the pre-orders that they're going to fill up is going to have Grief Karga in there. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of Mandalorian figures until the next season.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's one or two coming this year, and I think he's one of them. But we'll see.
Well, I just like to get at this point because PCS is just showing that they're going to be putting down an Apollo Creed statue. So maybe that's how I'll get my Carl Weathers. I actually know what we could really use. Hot Toys going back to Predator. They gave us a Dutch. Let's give us a Dutch, and I forget what his CIA character name was in Predator, but let's give us a reissue of that Arnold, and then give us Carl Weathers from Predator. That'll do it too.
I love that movie.
Yep.
I love that movie. But yeah, it's interesting. I find it very interesting because I would agree with you, Lane, that Star Wars still has this character up and with Gina Carano's likeness, and then you put that together with some of the things that are going on right now. I'll put it to you this way. You just have to wonder. So it's kind of a little bit crazy right now. When it comes to when it comes to Star Wars and trying to predict what's going on. Here's another figure not related to this series. that is starting to go up again. And you just see right back here from, gosh, today, Hawk Wars Toys and Ray from Hawk Wars, always a big call out to him. $470 for freaking Cody. And I'll pull up. Yeah, he's starting to a lot of desire here for this figure, and I'm not surprised. But not even a best offer. Not even a best offer for this figure here. And again, a lot of these pictures, when you put them in like that, they go a long, long way.
Love the
got
weathering.
tremendous feedback. I buy a whole lot, honestly, from Ray at Hawk Wars. He's definitely a great, great seller. But
what was he when he originally came out? Retail. You guys remember?
I remember.
Yeah,
What?
230, wasn't he?
Maybe a little with the head sculpt. Maybe I think like 255. Mario.
No,
does that sound about right?
No, it's like 235 or so. I can.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. If it was just
I'm thinking, seeing all the stuff that he comes with, and I mean, I have him up in my thing. He's been in the same pose for like a year and a half.
243 actually.
243. Wow, you were close, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
243.
It's almost double. I mean,
yeah,
really. I mean,
it's an amazing figure. I mean, he comes with a wide array of weapons and accessories, and again, this was the first more interesting head sculpt that we actually got from a clones figure, man. So it's a great release. I really love. The problem is that this figure was actually plagued with issues with the left arm, wasn't it? Where it's like really loose in the socket or something like that. So I remember that was a big issue with some of the first batches of the figure. But I mean, it looks fantastic though. It's a great one.
Yeah, and AJ says I was looking at that in his store yesterday. Yeah, and he actually just sold another one the day before, and these are going really, really well. Big. Jack Jones is seeing it go for more.
Oh, that's a lot, man. That's like $600.
Yeah, it is going for a lot, and I mean that's what I'm saying. And I kind of talked about this figure, Lane, that probably by the end of this year or going into 2023, it probably would be in the $500 tier range or close to it, at least over $450. It's not over $450 yet. I think the market value chart calls this at about $429 and rising. But that's a lot. I mean, if you're spending $400 or $470 on this figure,
at the end of the day, he's a trooper.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great character in Revenge of the Sith that iconic because of what Commander Cody is in Clone Wars and everything like that. But dude, it's a lot of money.
When you think of Order 66, he's kind of one of the first things you think about, since he was the first one who was given the order and stuff.
Yeah.
But he is, other than the shoulder, like I attached the, for his hologram arm, and it's been in the same pose for like 2 years now, almost. I haven't messed with him because you can break all the little pieces of his armor if you're not careful.
Yeah, he's extremely fragile too.
But
he is
great. But I love the weathering on the armor and everything. I think it's still one of the better jobs they've done. I think him not appearing in Obi-Wan.
I'm gonna go grab it. Keep talking about this. I'm gonna go grab one real quick. Go ahead.
Go for it. He was one of the few disappointments that I had that we didn't get to see him actually in Obi-Wan, either in flashback or just to appear. I love all guys that I know that he's kind of getting expensive, but if you're doing a Revenge of the Sith line or trying to collect all the clones, I think he would be a great figure. He's still a great figure to track down. He's still got one of the best Tamora Morrison head sculpts, I think.
Lane, do you think that we might see a Phase 1 version of Cody coming out?
I could maybe see that.
Because I think if they saw how high of a demand this thing is, while not actually reissuing this figure per se, although they totally could, they could bring him out in a Clone Wars line for all we know. Yeah, and maybe that could be a reason to bring him out. Actually, yeah, that would be a reason to bring him out with the Phase 1 helmet, as we've seen him in the Clone Wars. And then possibly they could probably just put in the Phase 2 helmet as well. So I don't know As far as I know, the armor wasn't really that different, between the two eras.
Well, they've got that captain from the last season, from the last 4 episodes of
Captain Vaughn, which is basically the
yeah,
same thing. It's
same
just
is
a
literally the
repeat
same
of
thing but different color because the 55.
Right.
Now, here, Mario, here's to you, and for chat, here's the thing for you, real quickly. Here's something to imagine, because on Geeking Out last Sunday, we were doing what we could see as our possible like Toy Fair figures and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, one of the ones that unfortunately was said before I had it on my list. Think if they did, whether it was the summer or which obviously is more stuff coming out, or if it was Toy Fair exclusive. What if they did 212, like a standard 212 trooper?
Please, yes. I mean,
now I know you might say, why wouldn't they do that as just a regular release? Well, I think they may be going away a little bit from the clone troopers because I think they would have announced 212 by now.
Well,
to be a separate figure.
What would probably make more sense as far as the Toy Fair exclusive in regards to the 212 is to do the Airborne Trooper instead.
Yeah,
because that one's a little bit more unique in my opinion than just put their standard 212 as part of the MMS as a regular line.
But that would help Cody if they let's say they put one of those out as one of the Toy Fair exclusive. Oh man, that's so cool.
There you go.
So that you think Aries, we were saying while you were grabbing your figure, I was saying, Geeking Out last week, we had done a like kind of what our top 5 or 6 figures could be Toy Fair exclusive from Star Wars or Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, someone else gave it as part of their list, but I said, what if they did Toy Fair exclusive 212 Trooper? Like it could be the standard Trooper armor, but they did it in the colors of the 212. How much do you think that would affect Cody, like just spiraling out of control with his pricing?
I mean,
because you would have guys to put with him.
You're 100% right. And honestly, just with them coming out with more clones, period, and with more clone troopers, I think by default has this figure continually go where it is. So certainly for what you guys are saying there, and I love this figure. I didn't want the helmet to drop, but you can see the way I have that hand posed that I have the helmet, holding the helmet in there.
Good pose.
But yeah, no, this is no surprise to me that this is going, people are just scalping this up over here. And how much you think that they're actually paying Tamora Morrison, because we're not even close to being done.
Well,
man,
I mean, geez. Well,
this figure's awesome.
Yeah, I think with 212, if they did a 212 version, whether airborne or regular, I think that would send that he's going 500-600. Like by the end, it's been. I said Toy Fair because it would be something to come out this year. I wouldn't buy a ton, but I would buy at least one. But I could see. And Aries, I wanted to actually get if you could see this. So from our discussion there, it relates to the clones and stuff, and also with being a commander. Could you see the Phase 1 clone commander as a Toy Fair for this year? The one that they teased kind of and showed at Experience? Like, to me, that feels like, because it reuses a lot of parts and also even some from Cody, feels like it would be almost could be an easy one that they could put out this year. I would buy it because the Phase 1 commander.
I think a lot of people would buy that. And I actually think that, you're onto something there. I think that that's actually a very viable, exclusive that could be, that could come out for sure. So not surprising there with that. So no, I kind of like that. I kind of dig that idea. I actually think, Lane, that, I feel like we're going to get hit with a big number of troopers. And I don't want to say that it's all clones, but I feel like we're going to get hit with a lot of troopers to fill up a good chunk of the upcoming pre-orders they have to put in for 2023. I really
into 2023, early 2024 kind of time, kind of like they did from Mando, kind of at the end of last year and beginning of some came out earlier, but like the shore troopers from Mando. Oh, dude, sorry.
Hey man, if someone's got a flex, I can't help it. I gotta come in too, guys.
Yeah,
so I can't help it.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Mario, you didn't have to flex though or pull anything to flex. People just look to the right of you and just like, and there's
now I gotta go get
there's
Mario.
that stuff. I mean, Aries, does Mario have to flex at all? You can just look to the right of him here from our direction or left on his side, and we just go, well, hey, look, there's Han Solo. Look, there's Farm Boy. Look, there's the Death Star gunner. There's Death Trooper Specialist.
Mario,
we just looking right next to him.
Mario, like you've got a ton, bro. You got a ton, dude.
I have almost
that now.
I have almost everything, I believe. I'm only missing like a few of them, so I'm still working on the display. The bottom shelf is just a bunch of one-offs and some extra. What was it? The sequel troopers, which unfortunately I don't have room to display them. So as soon as I get all that out the way, then I can finally do a collection tour of everything. Nice. So stay tuned for that.
Wow, all so right. you basically have almost every one of them.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty
much. Mario,
wow.
You need to forget about flexing. You just need to start going like this right now, like Hulk Hogan, baby. We need to get you and Fabio like together here on the stream. You guys can both have. So we'll get you both across from each other and make sure he's going one direction, you're going the other, and then boom, it is like the triangle of collectors with the owns of practically every hot toy meeting. That would be amazing. Yeah. But
yeah, no, I think one of the biggest holes. I mean, from our Rogue One line, I'm only missing one Death Trooper lane. You know that. I think I started off original trilogy. I mean, when I started collecting, the line hadn't been announced yet. So for me, it was just basically the right place at the right time. So I was able to capitalize on everything as soon as they dropped. And I've been collecting everything ever since. It's just going backwards on the Rogue One line was just a nightmare.
Oh, listen, now I'm gonna have to flex a little bit more over here. Ooh. So A New Hope is on TNT. It's making me want the A New Hope Obi-Wan, trade Darkside Anakin, or A New Hope Obi-Wan. Don't trade the a Darkside Anakin. Okay, I'm gonna have to go grab this here in a second.
Go pull mine out too.
We're all gonna go pull it out.
We're all gonna have like a table full of figures in front of us, man. Not even able to see us, but.
Oh my God! Well, now that Lane's back there, I won't leave you alone here, Mario. Let me go grab it real quick. I want to go actually grab this.
Go.
Let me stop my cam real quick.
You guys are you guys are saying eat it, Moff Gideon and Director Krennic here. Go into your guys' stuff.
Hang on, Lane. Hang on. I'll be right back as well. Hang on.
Okay. Well, everybody, so just me for a second. I will serenade you with the songs of the Smurfs from the 80s cartoon. La, 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 la. Okay, but it's not because we're going to lose like 50% of our audience. As you can see, we're all having flex time here on the Aries Cantina.
Lane, you weren't singing, were you? I think I could kind of hear you.
Yes, I was singing the Smurf song from the 80s when they would be walking and going la, 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 la the entire time. But I realized that would kill half your viewing audience. So I decided, let's kill that here.
All right, so I had to pull it out because Knight of Ren said that. I guess I'll have to put myself on solo layout. Anyway, I just love this figure.
Oh, wow. Dude, that is that is Alice Guinness. When did that one come out? Do you remember?
Hello there.
I mean,
that one, geez, this came out a while ago, right? Well, I say 5 years ago now. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Wow, is that wrong?
Wow. Maybe 5 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago now at this point.
They really do nail with the old white guys, don't they? So Aries,
but I mean, this figure's like freaking.
They could do a great figure of you, sir. Well, you got the beard and everything to match out. No,
yeah,
Aries,
but what hat they're gonna put on? Or maybe don't do me with the hat. Do me the regular way, like I'm on with the mug. And if they come out with a figure of me, they gotta have the mug. It's gotta come with it.
Yeah,
here you go. Here you go,
that's
Mario.
So cool.
I love this figure.
I'm right with you, bro.
Yeah, this figure.
Yeah, this was. I think this came out. I want to say 2015.
Or so even longer, probably like 7 years ago. Yeah,
2015 or 2016, around there is when it actually dropped. This is I think this is one of the first actual reissues that Hot Toys have done.
Oh,
And
you got yours flexed. Oh, geez.
oh, you know, man. But
There it is. Now he's
there it
flexing the
is,
other
bro.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, that's a
She's
great.
Obi.
Which one do you like better, dude? Do you like
This one.
this one?
This one, Alec Guinness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the other one, I've got the deluxe Obi-Wan with all the accessories, baby Luke and all.
I don't
It's
got the
great.
deluxe. I got the regular one. I don't have the deluxe one.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, Me and My Heart's original trilogy, man, and Alec Guinness is just where it's at. They did an amazing
Even though he was good at
job with
making the
portrait.
3-year-old cry because he hated Star Wars. I mean, that's a famous story. He actually did do that back in the
Oh,
time.
really?
Yeah, he made because a little kid cry because he was a well-known Shakespearean actor, been in all kind of movies, and the fact that everybody knew him from playing a space wizard in a sci-fi movie was probably something not at the top of his list. Even though a guy who said he liked it, Peter Cushing, he was another well-respected actor as Grand Moff Tarkin. Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin, he loved playing the character, even though I know he said, I don't know what a Grand Moff is. Ooh,
Is it actually serialized? Or it's actually has a date
2015.
There you go.
No screws like the armor. Just saying.
From
That
what
bugs the crap out of me.
2021.
I really don't understand why they've done that, because they haven't done that on like, I just don't know why they did that in a couple figures.
Guys, you realize you're going to be sending some of our watchers to the poorhouse today. Like, they're going to be scouting after Anakin Scott, looking for Obi-Wan figures now and stuff for like $500.
Shout out to Beskar Kid. He finally got his Death Star gunner. I mean, because I pulled mine out on I think I was streaming with Anthony, but I just happened to, they were talking about it, and I pulled mine out. And Death Star gunner was like, hey, or Beskar Kid was like, do you have this? Do you have this? I'm like, I started pulling everything out. And then next thing you know, I was tagged on his post today that he actually received it. So I'm like, glad I can help out with that, bro. So yeah, man.
We still got 70 in here. Let's go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already. You're watching a very, very early show. You're watching Cheers, my friends, with the Dark Jedi. We have got El Profesoro in here from the El Profesoro channel. Mario is in the house. My friend Mario is in here. My friend Lane is in here. Cheers to you all. Hanging out with friends, having a damn good time. Guys, I'm going to go to a website you may have heard of, scalecantina.com. And for those of you out there that don't have it bookmarked, you may want to consider doing so. Besides being subscribed, look at this awesome banner, which I didn't even get to talk about any of this. But, at least you see the Cheers, the partial Cheers logo anyway.
You trying to say Watto is coming? That'll be a Toy Fair exclusive. Watto.
I think Watto is just pointing to the microphone. It's impossible. I do say on this banner, and I say yes. But what I want to go to is this, guys. We're going to go back to the biggest mover section. You see some
the first one there is making me want to cry.
What, the infantry?
Heavy infantry Mandos die bombing.
It's weird. It's so here. I'm gonna pull up some stuff for you all, and I want to get your guys' perspective. How do you think this will continue? So here's one right here. Let me just pull up a bunch for you that you're seeing, and this is all very recent. Okay. Here's one right here. June 26th, 38 bids, only $275.
And it's brand new. This is under retail, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
It was originally $281.
Yeah. Let me pull up another one. This one's $4 over retail. $285, 10 bids. Almost the same day, June 26th, around the same time.
Wow.
10 bids.
I wonder if things will change after we see the new series of The Mandalorian.
Although,
we're expecting another one too, right?
Yeah. But look at this below retail, Mario. $258 from the day before, 24 bids.
Like new. Wow. It's crazy. Again, I mean, you never know what these figures are going to do. I mean, this was one of those ones. I think actually, I can see the 501st following this trend. Considering that, I think it's I think the 501st is more capitalizing off of FOMO right now. Considering they've been out for a long time, there's plenty of them out there, and yeah, I think this figure was the same thing. It was just a case of FOMO, and Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure the 501st will follow suit later on.
Yeah, that's a good point. It sure as heck may, because right now it's going high, but no, this was going high at first too. So,
Wasn't he? He
but
was at
then
350 not too long ago, wasn't he? Just even the last couple
he
of
was
weeks.
over 400, and then he went down to 350, and then went back over 400, and then really, it's kind of an anomaly. Now you see this every once in a while,
Mhm.
guys, with certain figures. Now it's like an ebb and flow. I pointed out the Luke Jedi Knight with the fat suit.
Yeah.
Which the real reason everyone was jumping off of that is because everyone wants not only the Endor Deluxe, that Endor non-deluxe sells great. So it's like, but you see like the Clone Wars Anakin, and then you're seeing the Anakins go, it's not having no effect. You see like the Death Trooper specialist, you could get, it's basically a trooper. This is like a 2.0, right? Labeled the Mandalorian. Yet that sent the Rogue One Death Troopers through the roof. But yet you're seeing it with this Mando version here, just an announcement, with Pervisla coming out, the heavy infantry Mandalorian too.
And he hasn't been put up for pre-order yet.
Yeah.
Even.
I kind of think that this is, I pointed out like, hey, the Mud Trooper you could pick it up, before Christmas for $270, $290 shipped. Now all of a sudden it's just about back at 400 and about to go right back where it was. It's going crazy right now. I don't feel like this will stay there, but I don't know. Do you guys think that maybe because of that new version that this character is just where it is? It's just,
well, the thing is for the like if that one eventually does actually get put up for pre-order again, it's like an exactly almost a reissue, except it's got that little stupid shield.
Yeah,
that looks like it's made out of the same crappy plastic you might have seen like for the Mysterio effects with the Iron Man that everybody's complaining about.
You're still going to get this big gun with it, though. You're still going to get like the jetpack. So if you get all this with it, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least the way they showed it. Now, who knows with final release or whatever? We never know from the graveyard, as we know. We still talk about, is Padme going to arrive from the graveyard? Who knows with this stuff? Hot Toys might finally just decide, let's put it out now for whatever it's part of, Book of Boba Fett or something like that. And then, but this kind of does, because I mean, heavy infantry was one that sold out, like the last one that sold out before it ever came out. Now, it could be just.
Well, the last one was the Chrome Trooper, the chrome plated one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But we knew that they were only making 500 of those, so that's why.
I think that one's a little bit different though, since that was a con exclusive. Even though I guess the Black Chrome.
Well, yeah, the Dark Side Anakin was a con exclusive, and that sat in stock forever. So, yes, it just depends on how many they're making and what the vibe is at that time, or how many that they're. But so do you think that this one is where it is, or is it going to go back to? See, I feel like because it's a Mandalorian, it's the OG one. I feel like the new one is going to have different wear and tear. It's going to come with the shield. It may not have everything this comes with.
Well, it might have some damage. Like it might come with some damage on the arm and stuff that the Darksaber put on it and stuff like that during the duel.
I think it's short-lived,
but
but
it'll be like it may not get as high as it did before. It might be because he is also, a little bit more obscure character. It might stay more like 340, 350 range. Could be where he ends up, kind of where he was. You talking a few weeks ago, but that makes me sad. I'm not gonna lie. I love that figure.
Yeah, and Diablo says, we have seen Paz, but is it up for pre-order yet? No, but I actually could see that coming very, very quickly. Maybe, coming up here at the San Diego Comic-Con. But Mario, do you feel like, I pointed it out like Chirrut had a little bit of a dive for a couple of months, and now you're seeing Chirrut Imwe go back up to the grail that he is. You see these ebbs and flows. I'm starting to see signs now that Luke with the fat suit, because all the Lukes are through the roof, but people were all just gravitating to that Endor one, which they still are. That figure is just so hot. Now you're seeing that one come up. You saw it with the Mud Trooper. You saw it with the Return of the Jedi Fett for a little bit. Now that's going up. Is it the same thing with this, or is this one like, no, this one's for real? This one's not going back up. This one, because you can get the Paz one that's coming out. What do you think?
I think that this is probably going to settle at this price range, if not maybe drop a little bit more for the time being, unless we see something happen in season 3 of The Mandalorian, in which maybe we either get, I don't know, what if he takes his helmet off and we see John Favreau underneath? I think something drastic has to happen, or something crazy has to happen within the next series for this figures to start getting traction again. Other than that, it's going to stay here and settle. And like you guys mentioned, because we got past Vizsla still, it was still showing our celebration, so most likely it will be going up for pre-order sometime in the near future. But in the meantime, I think this figure is still either going to continue to drop or just settle where it's at right now.
You know, and that's a great point, Mario. I'm going to stick with you because there's been a lot of speculation on Liam Neeson and Qui-Gon in this series because Hot Toys capitalizes on everything for a reissue, like K2SO, KX Enforcer Droid, boom. This figure, boom, they're capitalizing on it. You see that. I feel like, what do you feel like about, like here, I'll put this up on the screen, which is interesting because this is another very big high riser. And you see right here, let me pull up a bunch of these. $383 June 22nd, $383 July 1st, yesterday. Qui-Gon is going very, very high, just about, what, a month and a half ago, Mario? 2 months ago, I would say. You could probably find him for $260 shipped. Like you could find him at retail. Now all of a sudden, because he's in this series, and he was starting to do this because he kept mentioning Qui-Gon just about in every episode. Master, where are you? Or you kind of, I guess, we're getting the inkling that he was going to show up. So, like, could you see this? Like they're doing it with the heavy infantry Mandalorian. They're giving you a shield. Could you see them? They don't even have to do. Look what they did with that chrome-plated stormtrooper that's already on waitlist. They did just 500, and they actually had to work on that. They actually chrome-plated it. I feel like with the Qui-Gon figure, all they got to do is say, okay, we're going to run 500 or 1,500 of them and kill any momentum in the market and just get the money ourselves. It could happen. I don't think so, but
no, it definitely can happen. It's definitely a possibility, but I think it's unlikely that will happen. I mean, considering that this figure recently sold out, it wasn't that long ago when it dropped and sold out.
And it was low. It was low for a while. It wasn't high.
Yeah, it was. This is just one of those things. I think, kind of like what we saw with with Vision, right? So it's the Age of Ultron Vision that came out. When it came out in WandaVision, that figure started going through the roof. It was sitting low for the longest time, and then all of a sudden the desire was there to have it. The demand was there. So then, of course, the price started going up. And then shortly after, Hot Toys announced the WandaVision version 1, and then that figure just plummeted once again. But I don't really see them going back to another run. Although they could, I just don't think it's a likely possibility.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But one that I'm keeping an eye on, Lane, I don't know what you think about Qui-Gon here, but certainly soaring from where it was in the secondary market. You're not able to find it for 250, 260 anymore. Now you're finding it for anywhere from 350 plus into the 400s.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, I think I think this figure will eventually settle down a little bit more from where it's at now. I think it's kind of in his appearance hype and stuff at the end of Obi-Wan. I actually said, kind of by way out there, Toy Fair stuff, he was the last one on my list. I said Force Ghost Qui-Gon. I said I don't know exactly how they would do it, but they could just like literally reuse all the parts from the previous figure and make him light blue. There you go, Force Ghost Qui-Gon. But I think he'll be up for a little while yet. But I think eventually he's going to settle back down a little bit, just because there aren't a ton of Jedi to stick him with otherwise. You know, what could help him stay up is eventually if they finally do announce Mace Windu.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
I have to poke you, man. That's my shtick. Until the point you come through and break my fingers or something like that.
Careful.
But I could see, you know, if we get some more Jedi and stuff, Mace Windu, Maybe Ki-Adi-Mundi play like over the next few years if they do release more Jedi characters where you have some more people to put him with. I think that could help the value of the figure stay up or go up a little bit. But as of right now, well, they're doing a Black Series figure that comes with the Favreau head sculpt. Actually, like I think that for a celebration or something. I mean, it was the same figure, just John Favreau's head on it. That could help definitely. But I think eventually he'll be still over like $300 settle in, but probably somewhere 300, 350 is where I think I could see him staying.
Yeah. You guys want to chuckle a little bit? I'm going to go to Mario with this because I brought it up earlier, but I don't know. This is just kind of funny to me. But I mean, come on, really? Wicked. And Wicked's been going
by himself.
Yeah, by himself. Yeah, 265.
How much was he at retail?
190. Right? Or was he something like that? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was higher. Wasn't
so
he around like Yoda?
He hasn't exactly flown off like.
Or maybe he was more. Maybe he was more.
Yoda.
No, but it's going up a little bit. I mean, to me, that's like 265, not including shipping. That's 285. Just about 300 for this, you guys. I mean, with everything included for Wicked. What was the retail on this? Now I'm curious because maybe it was
up as well.
Yoda. I know was 195 for the Attack of the Clones. Yoda. I think maybe this one was more. Maybe this was 200 something. It couldn't have been that high for this by itself. It couldn't have been like 230 or 240. Was it 220?
It was 197, so it was a little bit more than Yoda.
All right, so 197. That's a pretty significant jump.
Wow. Guy, if anyone's interested, I'm looking at it right now for 170.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Pick it up.
If anyone is interested, you know what, Aries? Let me go ahead, if you don't mind. I'll go ahead and share with everybody if they're actually interested in this piece.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll put it up.
There you go.
Is this yours?
Oh no! It's not mine. It's not mine. But there it is, right there.
Oh, for Pop Culture, they've got
Pop Culture. Yeah, they still have it in stock.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Like when I got the Emperor.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in the world. This is a great point because not even the Emperor was out. That this Wicket, for instance, could be complete. If you hunt, is completely out everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
Around. Well, that's like they have Grimwald, the Johnny Depp version of the character from the Fantastic Beasts. They got him for like 123.
That's insane.
Like $100 less, or a little bit
Lane,
more.
Even the War Machine Punisher, isn't it like 200 or something like that, or 220?
Yeah, because of the Australian law that had with the batteries, I know a couple people who got like the retail $407 rescues figure, the Iron Man, for like $250 shipped.
Wow.
And someone got the original retail from like Sideshow $469 Iron Patriot from Endgame for like $270 shipped because they were trying to get rid of a lot of their stock of the Iron Man figures. But that's a site they can have sometimes they can have some on Pop Culture, some really good deals. Now you have to pay for the shipping because it's coming from Australia, but
like $30. It's not bad, to be honest.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's just it is great. Or Aries, another figure you could talk about for where it used to be, where it's fallen now a lot. You were talking, and like I was thinking of, what about the original Shore Trooper from Rogue One, where that bad boy was $600. I mean, he's not cheap, but
but I want to go ahead and talk about first because Mario had that up on the screen.
Yeah.
And for those that are coming in late, we got 75 in here, baby. Go ahead and smash the like button. You are watching Cheers, my friends, with the Dark Jedi. We got Mario, El Profesoro, from the El Profesoro channel in the house. We have Lane in the house, who's shrunk again, who's got to rise back up.
It's my camera.
I was saying it's your passion, dude. It's like you're laying the gavel down here in the cantina.
Good. I'm like the Judge Judy of Scale Cantina. Perfect.
Judge Judy. Now I'm gonna get a Judge.
There's an
Judy.
old reference now if you need it.
Judge Lane.
Judge Lane. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man.
I
Hot
did
Dogs Wizard and Judge Lane.
I Judge's Thief that everybody must buy a clone trooper, even if it's secondary market, because we must all be cloned.
Well, I brought up that Monkey Depot. Like I searched for it like all week, and I was looking for the Emperor Deluxe with the throne, and it was really going up, like so high. And then I found this Monkey Depot, and I'm like, okay, they seem like they sell a lot of Army figures, you know, figures of that nature, military. And I saw this. I actually called, and they were like, no, we had one in stock, and I got it at retail. And I was like, holy crap. So sometimes when you do that, like you put that up on the screen, Mary, especially for ones that recently went out and are going up, you don't necessarily have to just, if you, I spent a while and I lucked out. Now, I don't think there was a whole lot of them up there, but I did find one for like $320, whatever the heck it was, an Emperor Deluxe. And I was like, damn, that was really good. So the same thing with that Wicket there, which is still not very high. So they get a 200s and going up like the way it is, but
still,
it's
the
still
figure,
high.
Yeah, considering the height of the figure as well, it's only like a 6-inch figure or something like that. Doesn't come with that much, that large of amount of accessories, and still $265. That's pretty. I think that's considerably high.
Yeah. Now you got to find the Dark Side Anakin sitting at a comic shop that they're still going to have for two, you know, or as an exclusive. But you know, I'm saying probably. That's so. Yeah, I mean, people hunt that every day, and it's just. I'm just so blown away by that. Insane Number One says, feed the algorithm, hit the like and subscribe. Content like this is too great to pass up. Oh, man. Well, I really appreciate that, my friend.
What a guy. And
let's go ahead and fill them. I don't think we filled up table 5 or 88, guys. We got to do this right now. Man, that little guy along with the Mando is taking us on a ride. So here's a very interesting thing. I'm going to bring it up for you, gentlemen, as I bring up scalecantina.com, where I was going to go with this. And here we go here. All right. So I want to go past the biggest mover section, which I was trying to before, Lay, but you made me stop on that Mando. That heavy Mando. Crazy stuff on here. I mean, to even go through, hard to sort this out. All right, Star Wars versus Marvel. 1/6 pre-order and in-stock comparison. You see on the Marvel side for 1/6 2023 pre-orders, there's 36 of them, and I put in too many to list because there's no way I'm typing that all out. And no one's gonna. I'm just not.
I'm just not amazing. I'm not gonna do it. You can't make me.
There's 36 of them, not including the quarter scale. And I combined deluxe and non-deluxe, so I count them as one release. It's kind of like, you know, you come out with a Camaro. I'm not giving you the RS and the SS. It's just the Camaro. You buy the one you want. But there's a lot. With Star Wars, there's now 15, okay, with the Purge Trooper. And that's it. That is it. Not including the quarter scale, Boba Fett, whatever the heck that is, that this is just 15. So, and I listed them here. Lane, I got Axe, number 1, KX Enforcer Droid, Casca, C-3PO, R2, Battle Droid, Clone Pilot, Fennec, Heavy Weapons Clone, Attack of the Clones Clone Trooper, Commander Oppo, Luke DX-25, the Purge Trooper, the Book of Boba Fett, that just came out with Cad Bane. That's it. That's it for Star Wars, which seems to be right now the biggest, hottest items that are selling not only in the secondary market, but in the primary market right now for Hot Toys, without even a movie out. Like I said, 3 shows. So 15 is all we got. So Lane, how many pre-orders for 2023? Because even the last few years we've had 25 to 30 every year. You see how hot Star Wars is right now. We go into 2023 with just these 15, and that's it. They're going to be like, that's it. We're not going to do any more.
I know. Well, that's not realistic. I mean, just think about your
Okay,
list.
well, wait. Let me pause you. Though. I agree with you. It's not realistic. But when the frack do they come out with these? Announce them then.
Oh, I think it'll probably be. We'll be seeing. Now, would you exclude any like Toy Fair exclusives or anything for this year? Like you would take those, that would not factor into this at all, right?
Well, no, I do have it factored in, but the two that came out that were exclusive, this was at 15, is now at 17 for 2022.
Oh, with the
chrome plated
chromes.
one and the chrome plated ones are supposed to be this year, so they're already factored in.
Well, we're definitely going to get at least. I mean, this may be spread over the rest of the year. I mean, we're only still the halfway point, but we're definitely going to get at least several from Obi-Wan this year to get out. It's probably 3 or 4. There's still the second wave of attack. I mean, just think how many in the last 2 months, or just 2.5 months, we've gotten of your list right there. Because before that, I think we had like 3 or something before April, before Bespin Luke. Because we just had Casca Reeves, Fennec, and Axe, I think. So we've had a lot since then. But I think it'll probably be somewhere between like early 20s to mid 20s, probably 21, 25, probably by the time because there's still a wave 2 for Attack of the Clones. We know that that's coming to some point now. Will it be all at once like they did for the first 5 or a little bit more spread out? Who knows? And exactly how many are they going to do? I assume they're going to do 5. I assume the first wave is 5 and second wave is 5. And then there's going to be at least 3 from Obi-Wan, I think this year, which will get announced for 2023. Although, because they do 6-month windows now for all their stuff, kind of like how Hot Toys actually lists on their website. I think we'll be starting to see some here, which will be like, end of 2023, early 2024 timeframe. I don't know if you might agree with that.
It's good thoughts. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I think what we're going to see, because we have to get for 2023 somewhere between, for Star Wars, 25 to 30 releases. We just have to, for sure. So certainly I agree with you. Obi-Wan series, I think we got a bunch coming up. We got hit with the Purge Trooper this week. I think we're going to get hit with a ton. I think we're going to get hit with a ton more of the Book of Boba Fett too. I think we're still getting Black Chrysanthemum. I think we're still going to get the heavy infantry Mandalorian we were talking about. I think we're going to get the armor, from there, possibly as exclusive, but that might go in for this year. I still think we're going to get possibly a Mandalorian from there, possibly a Luke with Grogu, but I think that may get announced later, with him on his back. But I think the Attack of the Clones, second wave of thrills, which they went crazy specific to say, we are preparing for more collectibles from Star Wars Attack of the Clones to celebrate its 20th anniversary. Stay tuned on our next wave of thrills. They can't not deliver on this statement. Howard knows that. Hot Toys Brass knows that. They were very, I believe, careful in the way that they crafted this to let us know. Don't be surprised when this happens. The Bad Batch comes out close to the end of the year. They've already said you're getting all 5 of these, so you could expect the other 3 to be coming. So I really feel with this, I feel like what we might see over the next month, especially with San Diego Comic-Con, is maybe that next wave of Attack of the Clones, which could be 5 figures, which brings us 15 to 20, which could be, anywhere from 3 to 5 Obi-Wan figures, which, but let's say 4. Okay, that brings that up to 24. And then all of a sudden now, you come out with a couple of here, a couple of that, you're up between 25 and 30. If they wait on the Bad Batch to do that closer to the end of the year, that's going to be your 2024 releases. I typically, Lane, don't see them concerning about 2024 until after the end of the summer, until the fall starts getting in, or even late in the fall for this year. So I feel like for Star Wars, over the next 3 months in particularly, we're going to get hammered. Is where I'm going with this.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So I don't even know, Mario, what your take is on that, but I feel like we're going to get hammered the next few months to keep up with that norm that they've had for Star Wars. 25 to 30 releases a year. Not 15, but I feel like for it to happen in 2023, it's going to happen a lot over the next 90 days, 120 days, and then the fourth quarter of the year, all of them in probably, for 2024, most likely, including probably those Bad Batch ones they teased.
You guys remember that line that Anakin said? This is where the fun begins.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's it's crazy. I think for me personally, I don't want to say I'm behind, but I am definitely feeling it with the releases right now. I just got maybe like about about 4 or 5 figures within the past couple months, and then I got 2 more coming in, and then 1 more later on in at the end of July. So there's definitely a lot as far as what's releasing, and then we got to see what's already been announced for pre-order. I'm behind. I have yet to pre-order any of these that you have up right now with these 15. They're all
Me either.
there's just so many. And right now, I mean, some of us are not actually pre-ordering as well, but to each their own. And then what is to be released? We're still coming up on SDCC later on in a couple weeks.
Exactly.
We just had Celebration, so and we did see quite a few figures that were actually teased, and some of them actually dropped for pre-order. Now, I think with SDCC, it's not just Star Wars centric. It's a bit of everything across the board. But I'm sure that we'll see at least another maybe at least a minimum of 2 to 3 more that we haven't seen already from Celebration, and then we still got the rest of the year just to see what else they can actually drop. So, yeah, going into next year into 2024 is going to be there's a lot. It's overwhelming for us that are
It's a ton.
completionists. It's a lot, But for those, I'm happy for everybody out there that can actually pick and choose. That you guys have options because they're giving you so much to choose from, right? And it's great as a Star Wars collector. I mean, we all say it many times. This is a great time to first of all be a collector and to be a Star Wars collector on top of that, just because there's so much that's out there and so much that's coming out. But for the completionists out there like myself and Fabio, it's it's a bit of a I don't want to say it's a bit of a nightmare, but it is. We are starting to feeling it.
You guys going woo? You're gonna be rubbing your temples going woosah, man, by the end of this year.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's hard. It's hard for you guys. For me, it's the same story for me because I get more of the selection. There's so much in the secondary market. How do you navigate that? And then, yeah, we're getting the selection. But for your completionists, looking at your collection behind you there, Mario, that's a lot. And I don't think that we are, to my point. And I kind of agree with Lane. So I wanted to get you what your thought was specifically. Like, if you were to guess right now, how many do you think? I mean, because I basically called out that we would probably get 10 to 12 releases really fast and by the end of June. And if you remember back, we were just at 3, when you include like the Fennec and the Casca, and I'm forgetting what the other one is. Axe Woves. All of these came with really the last 2.5 months. I mean, it was like really fast, like within the last few months. Yeah. So what do you think? Like if you were a betting man, Mario, when San Diego Comic-Con is over the end of July, how many 2023 pre-orders do you think we have here compared to 15 now? Like if you were going to give a number, generic.
Right now we're at what, 15?
15. Yep, on the screen.
By the year's end, I could probably see. I mean, we still have Andor coming up, this year.
Yeah.
We still have, amongst other things, that certain point of view, little cartoon series with Qui-Gon and all the other Jedi or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
So who knows if they could be releasing more from that in live action form. Man,
what do you think just by the end of July? Forget about both the end of July after.
So by the by the end of July, I could probably see maybe at least 2 or 3. We'll probably see by the end of the July. By the end of the year, I'm pretty conservative on my guesstimate. I'm just gonna say maybe about anywhere between 8 to 10. I think we'll see by the end of the year. But that's conservative. I could be completely wrong, and they could, who knows, they could just give us an onslaught to maybe we'll have like 12 to 20. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just thinking 8 to 10.
20 would be so much. I mean, that would put
That
it
would be
up one behind
ridiculous.
Marvel.
Yeah.
I no, definitely could see, like you're saying, the 8 to 10. That would put this up at 25 by the end of the year. I actually think by the end, and I could see 3. I could see it being just 3.
Mhm.
I think we may get 3 over the next 2 weeks. We actually may get 4. I actually could see this being Mario at 25
25 total or
by the end of the
25
summer.
extra?
I could actually
Yeah.
see it being by 25, maybe even by the end of San Diego Comic-Con, and then with the ones remaining the rest of the year. Like the Bad Batch is coming late in the year in the fourth quarter. Okay. You're not getting the Mandalorian until February of 2023, so you can't rely on anything of there except maybe Grief Karga, maybe a Frog Lady, Cobb Vanth. I don't know if they're going to do it from Mando or from Book of Boba. My hunch is they're going to do what they've been doing recently and say, as also seen in the Mando, or the character as also seen in the Book of Boba. That's how I think they'll do Cobb Vanth. And I think that they'll put it, they're going to put that one out
makes
quick
sense.
because of Cad Bane. But I actually think they want to fill up 2023. And so we're probably going to get slammed with another 10 to 12 of these over the next couple of months, is my thought. And then the rest will not be 2023. You'll start filling up 2024. So that's been my call here, is to kind of watch out the next 60 days, 2.5 months. I think we're going to get a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean,
Well,
there's just so much out there that, first of all, that can be released and they can be revealed. And there's so much more that's still yet to release later this year as well. So there's a lot, man. There's definitely a lot.
And here's the thing with Marvel, Mario and Lane, and then Lane, you can copy off that. There's 36 here, but I started to see with the last Marvel announcement, and I think it was Thor,
yep.
where it mentions 2023, but it was the first figure I noticed that mentioned into 2024. I don't really see, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I see it with Star Wars, and I was bringing this up over the last months that you're probably going to see more heavy announcements from Star Wars as far as quantity wise out, coming out with Marvel, and you're seeing it now. I don't know. Can you guys see much more than 36 for 2023? I mean,
They haven't done, and they still got, they're going to have 3 or 4 at least more announcements this year from Thor: Love and Thunder.
No, they have to, but will it be 2023 or will it go into 2024?
24. Well, I think they're both going to start. You're going to see that for both of them over the next couple of months. You'll see them because they're doing Sideshow now, and this is just speaking exclusively for Sideshows. It's obviously they're the primary distributor in our market. Is Sideshow is starting to do 6 months for everything to tie into the multiple quarters that Hot Toys lists on their website. So, but that's because they're putting multiple quarters because they don't want to have to, with the FTC rules and stuff, they don't want to have to give you back your, your NRD deposits anymore. They're just putting the 6 month windows. That's why they're doing it. So I could see some being late 2023, but I mean, we're talking from like October to March, I think is the one for Thor right now. I could start seeing some of that window possibly for Hot Toys figure. Maybe not July, but any later ones would probably start being that time frame. But that doesn't mean they're going to come out in 2024. There's still a good chance they could come out in the fall of 2023.
Oh, I'll be honest. That's good thoughts there, and I can see it going that way. I think for Star Wars, the next 60 days, it's probably going to be all 2023 is what they're going to say, and then with Marvel moving forward, because they got so many, it's going to show both. But I actually think Mario too, with these 36 that are coming out from Marvel in 2023, you're going to see some changes in the timelines, and you're going to see them now saying they're coming out in 2024. I really do.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's too many figures to sustain, and plus too, I mean, how do we know if they're actually expanding their production? or how they're doing it, because there's a lot. They've got a huge backlog, and we don't know how well staffed that they are, as far as production wise. So it's definitely going to take some time for that. If they're still hand painting all these head sculpts that take about what they said, like a few months for each one, that's going to be a while. So there's definitely going to be delays. A long while, yeah. Definitely going into 2024, I believe.
And Bill Nensda became a new YouTube member. And listen, baby, for the first time today, you're making me do this, baby.
That's awesome, Bill.
Thank you so much for your support.
So Aries, is that probably do you think that's your most popular shirt vid, or do you think it's either that one, it's the Emperor going good, it's either that one or the one with Grogu drinking the spotchka? I think those are your three. I think those are your three most popular ones.
This was pop. People always ask me to play this.
Well, that's what I ask you. I know that's my favorite.
People like this one too.
Well, that's just because everybody wants Padme to rise from the graveyard, so they're hoping that that's the initiative, that it'll be so.
But I think this one, dude, is the most popular one.
They call him the Wizard.
That's up there.
That show Psych is. If you've never seen that, everybody, if you've never seen that show Psych, which that's taken from, that is an absolutely hilarious show. It's like 8 seasons long. It is really funny. Those two guys, the main characters, they are great.
Bill goes, control yourself. There are children present.
Oh my.
Yeah. What I will say, I do feel, just as you look at the market value chart there, and how you point out just right now, just seeing if you're a Marvel and Hot Toys collector, just for what's available this right now for pre-order in 2023, I feel bad for Hot Toys collectors, because to everybody, we haven't had a professional wrestling reference today yet on the stream, and we got Aries here and stuff. We have to do it. That is like already getting a concerto to the head.
Listen, even though this is Riley, one of the Wonder Twins, and welcome in here, Riley. What is up to you? Always good to have you and KG in here. But when Big Dog Pound is in the house, I mean, the tradition here at Six Scale Cantina is to go, woo!
Oh yeah. Woo! No one can do it like Ric Flair, though. I mean, like he's got.
No one could do it like Fabio.
No, yeah. Well,
unless Mario.
No one does it like Fabio. That is true. That is the
gotta
statement you made
contribute
all day.
Yes, you got to
Go
contribute.
for it, Mario.
Drum roll. But
Woo!
oh, that wasn't bad.
Okay, that was actually pretty good. Got the build up in the lungs there. That was fabulous.
All right, let's play a little game here while I end this, because we've been going on for a while. I really do appreciate you guys coming in. Fabio's been messaging me. He's been out trying to get back home, but this has been a lot of fun. I'm not able to do it tonight. Big UFC event tonight. Israel Adesanya fighting Jared Cannonier tonight. Max Holloway is fighting Alexander Volkanovski tonight. It's a huge card. Bunch of people coming to the Cantina. Must watch.
I'm going to say I have no idea who anybody of that. You just said, I was like,
it's one of my other passions.
Yeah, it's like tennis. Trying to say any names of most of the tennis players today in the world, because when what's going on, it just goes. And I watched tennis, like I watched pro tennis for like 20 years, and now I just go who and who and who and who. Unless it's Roger Federer, unless it's like Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, or Djokovic. Those are like the only three guys I know, because they've won every major for like the last 15 or 20 years.
What about McEnroe? Anyway.
That's a little bit longer ago there.
Mario.
Sir.
Your thoughts for next week. Do you feel San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to give us stuff there. Sideshow Con is starting. It's going to be more than just Hot Toys. So do we get something from Hot Toys for Star Wars announcement wise, like the Purge Trooper this week? This week, do they wait to this sometime in Sideshow Con? I mean, for a specific day of there? Do they wait really for San Diego Comic-Con, or do they need to start getting these out? It was peculiar to me that they started this off with the Purge Trooper and not a Darth Vader, not an Obi-Wan. It's interesting to kind of think through what the reasoning would be. Do we get something this week?
As far as an announcement, I'm going to say no. I think that we're going to go ahead and just, because SDCC is a couple weeks away. Although the trend lately, they've been announcing something every week. So I mean, maybe. I'm just gonna say maybe. I'm not really 100% sure. But if I'm gonna take a guess, I would say probably maybe one, and still give us some more releases that actually need to drop. I know a lot of us are waiting for Bo-Katan to actually drop. So that's been another one. So hopefully we'll see some more releases from Kenobi, because I know that's something that I want to see. I mean, for them to announce a Purge Trooper, yeah, that's great and all, but I mean, come on, we need Kenobi, we need Vader. Hell, I think I want a little Princess Leia Organa as well, with Lola and everything as well. But I think we'll definitely see that at SCCC for sure. But as far as any announcements, I'm gonna go ahead and step back a little bit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say maybe, possibly two, once for every week leading up to the con itself.
No, I think those are sound thoughts. It's hard to figure out. For me right now, the way they've been acting, we could wind up getting a Bespin Han Monday morning and be like, well, what that? Wow. But you bring up a good point, Mario, about Bo-Katan, because not only is she supposed to be due out, guess what else is due out? Dark Trooper, Echo, and Mando, and the Blurg is supposed to be due out. It's going to be very interesting for me. I feel like they're going to go two ways with Mando and the Blurg and Quill and the Blurg. I could see them waiting until February, March, April next year when the Mando series goes on to try and do those. I feel like if they put those out now, I have very limited quantities. I'm just going to be honest. Echo, definitely. I'm anticipating Bo-Katan, Dark Trooper. You also got, for the third quarter, Ahsoka, Hunter, the Scout Trooper, and Quill in the Blurg. I wouldn't be surprised if Quill, the Blurg, all the Mando and the Blurg, if those all get pushed to next year. And maybe we get Ahsoka a little earlier, believe it or not, and we get Hunter.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so,
I mean, so you think it's Bo-Katan? You would say Bo-Katan, Mario, before Echo, before Dark Trooper, before Ahsoka? You think so?
Yeah, definitely. I think she's overdue. She's actually a little bit overdue. Echo's due in the same time window as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's definitely gonna be one or the other. But I think I'm kind of leaning towards Bo-Katan actually being released first before Echo.
Lane, what do you think? What's going to happen this week?
This for release, like new releases this week. I could either see, because unfortunately right now I think I could see maybe one Star Wars one. I could see like two releases, like maybe this week and next week, but like one Star Wars and maybe a Marvel or something. Because there's some Marvel ones that are now starting to run where they're going to be like that same thing, slightly overdue. But I could see Bo. I'd like Bo to get released, but I'm going to be waiting for her for a while because I'm getting her through my LCS. So got to wait for a little bit. But I'd like the Dark Trooper, quite honestly. I think that people are going to fall in love with that figure once it comes out, because it's going to be it's a droid. It's a unique design for it. It's tied into some greater lore expanse, although maybe not this specific version, and well, as part of the Luke Skywalker coming out party that everybody loves.
Yeah, and I feel like we may get a couple of exclusives here that are going to come out pretty quick as well from the San Diego Comic-Con. I would not be shocked. I like I said, I'm not surprised we got the Purge Trooper, which basically says, "Hey, we're coming out with Obi-Wan figures," as if we needed to know that.
Yeah,
I honestly wouldn't be shocked, guys, if we winded up getting like Chrysanthemum, and you're like, "What? Another one?" Or a Chrysanthemum and Cad Bane. I mean, not Cad Bane, Cobb Vanth, and you're like, "Wait a minute, where's Obi-Wan?" Because Literally, they come out with Cad Bane months later, and he's number one. They come out with Boba Fett, which, like we're saying, we really need another Boba Fett. And I didn't think that would be anywhere near where it is. I didn't think it cracked the top 10. It certainly did. So I'm like, okay, they could literally, not that they're going to, they could literally wait a year to put out Obi-Wan figures. They're not going to. Maybe on some of the figures, they're going to wait. They're gonna piece them out. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw us for a loop and they could actually give us the next wave of Attack of the Clones before any of this starts. And then at San Diego Comic-Con, all the Obi-Wan stuff. Here's your Obi-Wan Deluxe. Here's your Darth Vader Deluxe. Here's Reva, the third sister. Here's the Grand Inquisitor. You're like, whoa, whoa, whave whoa.
And it's like 10 announcements in like 2 or 3 weeks. And we're just like, well, hey, that won't be bad for you, Aries, or something. It'll give us weeks of content. You'll have weeks of content for like the rest of the summer. You can be like, we're only covering 2 figures tonight. We're doing 2 figures another night, and we're going to break them down.
But I know, but I also feel like Mario. I also feel like, what are they going to do for San Diego Comic? Like maybe we don't. Maybe they wait for the San Diego Comic-Con. It's hard to pinpoint. I just really think here's where I'm going with this is if they wait till September, October for a lot of these releases, they're not coming out in 2023. They're going to say 2024. So they're not going to get that many pre-orders then for Star Wars figures for 2023. And I just don't see them going that route. I feel like them trying to squash or crunch, squeeze a lot in over the next couple of months fast, which is why I wouldn't get shocked if we get something this week. And quite on, yeah.
I mean, I didn't even consider the rest of the wave for the Attack of the Clones that you mentioned as well. Considering that we're still in the anniversary year, that second wave could no doubt be shown at SDCC. And on top of that, who knows? I mean, considering how many we got in the first wave, there was a lot. And if they actually kind of repeat that same pattern that they did with the first wave, and give us maybe like another 4 figures. Hopefully Mace Windu is in there, guys. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Nice pancake be coming for you.
Hey, there you go. I mean, and there's so much more to come out with everything from, we got more from the Book of Boba Fett coming out. You got more from Obi-Wan, and then you got some upcoming series too as well, man. So yeah, there's just so much that can actually come out. So, and I just hope that we don't see as many go to the graveyard status as and hopefully everything will just actually come out for PO.
It's interesting because they were really, really quick, fast, in a hurry within 24 hours to put this out. And it was real interesting to me. I don't see them putting this out, and I'm playing worst case scenario next year, where they really got to focus on, in my view, with the other companies, Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary packaging, where they'll still come out with, I think, a couple of these next year. It won't be dead. I just feel like it's this year. But when are they going to come out? Like what is this wave? And I mean, I feel like that they know they put out kind of an expectation. I mean, unless it's just Mace and they're like, okay, here's your wave of thrills. It's one figure, which everyone will go nuts with. And people may forget, but I'm not forgetting. I think that they're saying a wave of thrills. When's this wave coming?
If we're going to actually see thrills, we're talking Jesus, Obi-Wan, we're talking Padawan Anakin, we're talking Mace Windu, we're talking about possibly Geonosis Padme as well. That's 4 bangers that would live up to those thrills, in my opinion, personally. So if that would be a strong one if they were to pull that off. Super Battle Droid as well. They've teased that actually for the what was it for the Mandalorian, right? So, but it's definitely a possibility they can do it within the Clones line.
You know what's interesting about what you just said there? Is it possible, guys? Is it possible that they held off on the wave, or specifically knew that an Attack of the Clones-ish looking Obi-Wan and Anakin were going to appear in this Obi-Wan series, and because I know one of Fabio's calls is he was really saying, look, there's not a chance in the world that we're not going to get the Attack of the Clones Obi and the Attack of the Clones Anakin, because these two actors are involved in the Obi-Wan series. And after I actually saw that they actually used their look from Attack of the Clones, I was like, he's right. They're probably in one way or another going to capitalize off that look. I don't know how they're going to do it, but do you guys think that maybe they knew that was happening and are like, okay, we got to let that come out on the series first, then we can go ahead and put those out in here, or mention that, or put them out there, or mention this? I feel like it's got to be in this packaging, personally. I feel like that Attack of the Clones packaging is going to be real important to have those two big actors in there. And they can throw in the head sculpt from that series, or say also seen or also as seen in the Obi-Wan series. Personally, that's where I think they should go with it.
Yeah, I can agree with that assessment. Considering that we just saw Cad Bane, like you just said, in the Book of Boba Fett packaging, but also seen with Toto, as seen in the Clone Wars as well. They can easily do that. And I wouldn't put it past them to do that. Whether or not they've actually known ahead of time, I want to say no, just because we saw the surprise with Grogu that came out, right? There was no merch at all anywhere. It took a while for that kind of merch to show up. So, and I think Star Wars is so tight-lipped these days that I don't think they would have shared that information with some of their with their manufacturers. So,
it's a good point. It's a good point.
But still, even still, I don't think it's going to be that much. It's not going to take them that long to develop a head sculpt for Anakin and Obi-Wan to come out. So I can see those coming out relatively soon.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get those, and we'll get the Padme. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a big couple of months, Lane, is my point here. But
yeah, well, this time of year usually is for announcements, and for a lot of different nerd culture has a tendency during the summer to just kind of explode. So that Hot Toys might say, hey, guess what? End of July, I hope you enjoyed your 15 announcements of new figures from us from various properties. Enjoy. We hope we will take your pre-orders now.
Night of Ren. Yeah, well, you got Night of Ren coughing. Cried me.
Yeah.
How
funny would that be after waiting for that if we ended up by the end of this month where you got Padme announced and you also have Mighty Thor? So from 0 to 2 of her within like a couple weeks of each other or something.
That would be amazing. Seeing Natalie Portman drop in 2 different IPs in the same month.
Yeah. One with polio string cheese arms, one with mega guns. So you have them for comparison.
There you go. There you go, man. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, a little bit crazy. Putting Bill back up here on the screen, guys. Thank you so much again for doing that. We're going to be closing off over here. Lane, you mentioned my book, not my Book of Boba Fett, my Boba Fett 2-pack.
Yep.
Unboxing, my crazy unboxings, which you can get as a Cantina Insiders. Insiders, those that are insiders, is it possible that I will be live tomorrow for Insiders? And I say yes. So you definitely want to go ahead and be on the lookout for that. If you become a Cantina Insider, you get to see some extra live shows that I do. You get to see some pre-recorded shows that I do. You get to see some crazy unboxings, all kinds of crazy stuff on that. So thank you so much there again, Bill, for joining. And you could also just go right to the website up here, and that little pink bar on the right side over there, you can get like just some samplings of banners, some different videos that I have up. So it would like show you what you could get. Click on that little join button in the channel if you feel like you could benefit from it, and you may want to consider joining, just like Bill did here. But this was a great little impromptu show. We got 70 in here. Hit the like button. Mario, I feel like it's been a long time. Thank you guys for jumping on so last minute. Mario, what's going on at El Profesoro? And I hope we get to do this again real soon, my friend.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, I loved hanging out with you guys, and it really has been a long time, my friend. So thank you again for having me on today.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I've got a lot of stuff going on personally right now, so putting content up on the channel has been a little bit rather difficult. I am still trying to do my best to finish up this display and have a collection tour up for everybody. I've received a
We
lot of
want to
messages
see it,
asking.
sir. We want to see
Everybody's
it.
been asking me, when's it coming? When's it coming? When's it coming? Or some people have been asking us for just progress updates on Instagram. I don't want to do that, per se. I just kind of want everybody just to like hang on and just salivate and wait, and then just get the whole thing all at
Build
once.
up the
Man.
edges.
Same thing here with me. That's why I haven't seen mine yet.
Exactly, man.
But it
So
won't
I
be
hope to
anything
get-
like yours.
I hope to get sometime soon. But yeah, Aries, thanks for having me on. Lane, it's good to see you again as always, bro.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, hopefully we
And
can do this again
everybody,
soon.
you should definitely check out C Pro. He hasn't had a lot lately, but Mario has some some older content. One of which being was when he was gracious enough to let me unbox my Dark Side Anakin on his site there and stuff in the stream. He was fantastic when he did that impromptu. And
Yeah, that was fun, man. And as soon as I get this display out the way, that will allow me to go ahead and get set up for some of the statue unboxings that I got coming in. I've got two statues sitting behind me still that I still need to take care of. So hopefully I can do those live. And then I've got a couple more I got like 3 more Star Wars statues coming in. So definitely gonna be going live for those. So that's gonna be fun.
Crazy.
so much stuff, man.
And Lane, I know you don't. I know you don't have a channel, and but always, Lane, it's so always good to have you. Have
It's
you in here,
always
my
fun
friend.
to be here, hanging out with you and whoever the other guests are, and of course, everybody in chat is always a great time. Now, also for insiders, I have heard it from the inside from the Hot Toys Wizard that soon upcoming Aries will have as a special streaming video for us. It will be as he recreates and engages in some Hut opera and sung in Huntese, coming specifically from the Dark Side Jedi himself. And I am looking forward to that, his first musical endeavors.
Really?
Yeah, it's so shocking. Aries wasn't even aware of it yet.
Wow. I mean, I'm gonna have to fill up table 77.
Where the fun begins.
But no, being an insider have been a recent one. The content we have gotten so far has been very good. Aries has done some streams and stuff, which I have really enjoyed. When especially Aries, you don't lose anything with Aries, whether he's got a panel like today with some guests or when he has his weekly show with Fabio, which you should keep your eyes out for this next week.
Monday.
So
Monday, 4th of July, we're going to have that.
Oh, really? That's cool. But even solo, Aries is always very engaging and fun to watch. So everybody, as he says, subscribe to the channel and keep watching because there'll always be a lot of new interesting content coming.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that call out there, Lane. It's always a pleasure having you on. I want to say shout out to everybody in here, including 808 just waking up. Good to have you. I know you're at table 88. Even though we're going to be going, we could still keep you filled up, buddy, and fill you up there with Grogu. Yeah, no, you're going to be seeing more. It's been a crazy couple of months personally as some different things and whatnot, but we'll be getting more paddle shows like this, as well, trying to get it more on timing. Fabio and I on a more regular basis, kind of all off on there, hopefully on weekly at the same time. Of course, we'll continue to get me coming up here. We'll have insiders tomorrow, maybe live with something else tomorrow as well. I know I got a pre-recorded show coming up. Take the Red Pill Part 2 is certainly going to be coming out for a lot of collectors that are overwhelmed with this storm. Certainly some advice on being able to look at it from a different point of view, which could give you some relief for sure. And then we'll be live on Monday, probably 4th of July, somewhere between 6 and 7, a little bit earlier than usual for Fabio and I. So look out for that. And that's it. 6 Scale Cantina, baby. Coffee, baby. I actually got to refill my coffee. I don't want to have to go walk away, but I got a lot brewing in the Great Cantina kitchen. We're going to have to go fill myself up. But guys, this was a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun with Star Wars. I say through San Diego Comic-Con till the end of July. The last clip I'm going to play is filling up table 88 again. And 5, I think we're going to go on a ride like this with Star Wars over the next month from holidays. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly, it's been a ride for sure. That's it. That's all I got, everybody. I appreciate, Mario, you taking the time. I appreciate it, Lane. Remember, I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, it's a little cold now, but it's still delicious. I buy it from Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.